because he has to in this case, but he wants to also make sure that everything is brought to light. Because, and you know this too. If he basically just allows a paladin Tiamat to walk around the city as a priest, and if something bad happens or whatever, that will theoretically come back on him and the church. So it is very, very probable that even though you've already had the conversation, that he will have to at some point talk to the Arcane Brotherhood about this, because he does not want, you know, his church to basically come to ruin. He could be jailed. He possibly could even be executed if, like, for instance, like, let's say that the Paladin of Tiamat did go around and start murdering people and he didn't say anything. He would be held as an accomplice. So those are all the things you know, brother, from all this as a religious person. So yeah, this is all hypothetically, of course, but yeah. All right.
Running.
All right. So Johnny, you're not in yet. So remember, Johnny has disappeared. Johnny has completely exited reality, just like he did previously. You are not back yet. Just give us a couple minutes. And so tell me a little bit about what the group's plans are in the time being before Johnny gets back.
Someone grab that book. Make sure Johnny doesn't have a hold of it when he gets back, if he gets back.
Right. I have the book. I've taken it with Mage Hand and fastened it with the in like an empty bag onto my defender.
Yep.
And brother, you have Grin?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Your defender is what I'm missing. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. And Chris, the thing that we talked about is going on about now too.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. All right. I'll get your defender really quickly because that might actually be important here. All right. Okay, so let's place everybody just in case it becomes relative. So we have just gotten outside the church. The reason why I gave you a big open area is because it just matters like how what's the idea behind you guys going to the Arcane Brotherhood? By the way, it's pretty close. I'll show you on the map later how you get there, but just tell me where everyone is.
Well, if it sounds like the priest wants us to go there, we should probably bring this there. This is something far more powerful than we are able to deal with.
Yeah, and Grin is unconscious. So that's what I just need the exact details real quick of what everyone is doing and where you are. Just look at Tailspire and kind of give me like a rough idea, because all that's going to matter.
Abel will instruct his Steel Defender to guard Brotherhood and stay with him. And then we'll offer to the group to help whoever else go back and bring Grin to a safe place to rest. And it would be emphasis on rest, and kind of, seems like he's ready to go back towards, town.
Should we not bring Grin to the Brotherhood as well? Could they not fix him?
I just figured you'd want him and the book apart.
That's a good idea. Just I worry if we bring the book to them and they go and they say, okay, well, who's the person that read this book? Did anyone do this? And then we're harboring someone and trying to keep them as they are.
Eyes will stand behind Brother and go with Brother to the Brotherhood.
And I will take whoever wants to go back to the Cutlass with me, because I am pretty much tapped.
Right, but who is holding Grin? He's unconscious. Sorry.
I'll need some help with him, but I will help carry him.
Okay, so Brother, you're holding him on your shoulder, and Abel, you're going to help Brother with that, and Eyes, you're behind him.
So wait, Chris.
Yep.
I hear Johnny message me that.
We're going to find out.
No, do we still have the manacles around here somewhere?
Johnny, does it go through planes? If yes, then that's fine. If not, then no.
It works like sending.
Yeah, and he's still tied up, right?
No, he...
I thought tied up his manacle.
We cut the ropes off of him, so the ropes are useless.
Oh, that's right. You guys did. Okay.
Okay. All right. No, you can send it. You can send it then. That's fine.
still
Honore,
medical.
so Honore, you have that message.
Okay. Then I'm going to speak. Anu is going to speak up and say, Johnny just told me that we should stay together.
Why? And also, what do you mean he told you? Where is he?
Okay, then I will try to send back to him. Why? What do you mean? Where are you?
Does he know where we're going?
He says it's not Grin we have.
Okay, well, also, he touched the book. Are we to be trusting him?
So at this point, Johnny, you shunt back into reality. So what? Well, this is what you see. You see the same thing that you saw last time, which is this like very strange prismatic-looking portal that starts as a pinpoint of light that basically explodes into every color of the rainbow. It literally puts Johnny on his like he comes in hard, meaning he like hits the ground hard. He's disheveled. And then it basically gets ripped back into that point of light and disappears. But it's pretty violent. Johnny, you're there.
That's not Grin. Been
Okay,
switched.
Then who is it?
Switch with who?
It's Evil Grin.
What do you
Evil
mean
Grin,
evil
okay.
Grin? Who's evil
From
Grin?
the
Where's-
mist.
Where's real Grin?
With the evil party.
And who are you? Who'd you get switched with since you also touched the book?
I haven't been switched with anybody because I didn't touch the book. Used my scepter. It protected me. I have not been tainted.
Okay, so what do you say we do?
My master has a plan, and I know what the book is.
Okay, what's the book? Start with that.
It's the Book of Vile Darkness.
Okay. And what does your master
He wants to
want?
bring Vecna back. She wants to get rid of it. Keep it out of anyone's hands and keep Vecna as far, far away from Faerun as possible.
Okay, she wants it then, is what you're saying.
Yes. In
Yeah.
exchange, she'll get us Grin.
Yeah, no. She's not getting.
But
But we can trust the Tiamat worshiper.
but she can get Grin back.
So
Yeah,
can
Our
we.
Chris,
friend
I
is
rolled
more
a
important
18
than that
for
stupid
insight.
book.
Against Johnny? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, Johnny. You have to roll no matter what, but
Yep.
19 for me. Insight.
21.
Fuck.
okay.
I clearly took it as fact.
Yeah, so did Honor.
Well, Johnny does appear to be telling the truth. Johnny appears to be telling the truth anyway. So
Yeah.
So we know it's the fact that of course your patron wants the book. Why? She doesn't even give us her name. Why would we trust her with the Book of Vile Evil?
Darkness.
Darkness?
Chris, since I know a little bit about Vecna, what I know about this book,
the only thing that you would know is that Vecna was a former owner of this book. You would also know that there's been like talks about this in ancient like times where it's caused a great deal of like basically suffering. The only thing that's like actually like non-artifact level known. I'll let you do the religion check though. Let's see if you get exceptionally high. Like if you actually got some secret tomes or something that were back.
Can I pull my Modron out and ask him about the Book of Vile Darkness?
Of course. Yeah, if you want to
have
do it
a
now,
lot of
you
time.
can. Yeah,
What?
you can.
And why not?
got it.
Don't have a lot of time.
Okay. The only other thing you know is what most religious figures know, which is this book is like if you were to find this book or if you were to come across this book, it would be something that you would want to bring to church or Magus Guild right away to take care of.
The book is alive. The book has powers and spells. The book is awake, and it is looking for the next Vecna.
Okay, so why don't we just
We
kill this
need
Grin?
to get it out of here.
Why don't we just kill Evil Grin since he's right here and unconscious?
No,
There's
no.
There's a chance our Grin
Hypothetically.
could die if we do that.
Okay, so we won't do that.
There's a lot of things the evil book could do.
Anu's like immediately
think
gonna stand
Grin-
between Kino and Grin and like crouch down and be like, no.
What do you mean crouch down? You're already
Sorry,
shorter
she
than me.
can't reach him when he's on my shoulder anyway.
I was gonna say throw herself over his body, but
Don't worry, I won't touch him if you guys don't want me to. I just wanted to know why we couldn't if that's not him. How's the priest looking?
I can shunt the book through the scepter into another dimension so it couldn't hurt us.
Okay,
And
so
in exchange, our Grin, will be brought back.
okay, so how do we know that the mistress isn't just going to use this for her own for her own ends? You know, if this is such a powerful book, why are we
She
trusting?
fears Vecna.
Okay, but she doesn't even trust.
The return of Vecna is dangerous.
Yes, I know that.
More dangerous than anything you could imagine.
I know that. But listen, why would we trust her if she doesn't even give us her real name?
Her name is the Mistress of Secrets.
Well, Johnny, I'm with you. That sounds good enough for me.
I also agree.
I look at
Scepter
brother.
will create a portal that will suck the book away, and it will be gone. Our Grin will be returned. I think our Grin is more important, and getting that book as far away from Faerun as possible, especially with what we've started in the tomb, is highly, highly important. If you think the name of my mistress is more important, you have other problems you need to deal with.
I'm not saying
What?
the name. I'm saying that.
I have a question as far as what gone means and what is her motivation for keeping it a secret. I mean, I know she's the mistress of secrets. I just,
She
it
wants to
seems
keep
like a
Vecna-
little more clarity there.
She wants to keep Vecna from returning, and she wants to keep the book out of Faerun so it doesn't destroy her own personal plans.
Would she?
I think it's probably best if I don't know where exactly it is, but like, will it actually be gone or just gone from Faerun somewhere else?
It'll be gone from Faerun to somewhere else.
Eyes makes the sound of chattering birds and says, let's deal with the problem before us and just get it done.
Brother, I need your trust. Let me do this. Let me save our friend.
If you betray us,
Kill me. I
nothing
don't
will
care.
Stop me.
Our friend is more important. Go ahead.
I just look to the
I
rest of the
suggest
group.
everyone stand away from the book.
Why did the mistress not just tell us we're
Step back
good?
from the book. Because she needs the book in order to track where they've been exchanged and to get us back our Grin.
Eyes goes to next to Johnny and starts ushering Johnny towards the book.
I need
We all
everybody to
agree.
stand at least 5 feet away from the book.
I instruct the defender to stand away from us. Like, stand over there, 20 feet away.
With the book?
Yeah.
I suggest your defender also stand away from the book. This portal is going to suck everything in a 5-foot area into it.
How's
Uh,
with all of this
Real
happening?
quick, with all of this going on, Eyes, I sent you a message. The priest, so you guys are outside, so all this is happening outside of the church right now, and the priest has not come out. You're not even within earshot of him. Go ahead.
Eyes goes up real close to Johnny and says, do it now. Grin's awake. Run.
Okay. I enter the 3-symbol code and I stand directly next to the book and wait for it to activate.
All right, roll for initiative. Because obviously Grin would have heard that, but let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Or it's really most important to Johnny and Grin, but everybody roll. Let's see if Grin out initiatives you or not. Yep.
We both got an 11.
Iron defender in this group, because I probably would have been not right next.
it's the robot with a spear, I think.
All right. Well,
Where did you want to be, Kino?
I just want to be like 15 feet back from the book. I don't want to be right next to.
Oh yeah. This placement's not gonna matter. You'll see why. The book is just a placeholder for here. It actually is in the Steel Defender's possession. But
He kept it. He didn't put it down.
Yep, you'll see though. It doesn't. All right, go ahead, guys. So what's
Abel is highest with an 18. The next one is Henri at a 13. And both Johnny and Grin are at 11.
Eyes is at 10.
all right? This one is going to be important because again, like it's really going to be important that no one has like any other information than what we just went through on the initiative order, and I'll explain that in a second. But because you did get higher without talking to anyone else, Abel, you do get to act first as you hear eyes say what he said. But for right now, let's just do the initiative. So it's Abel. Then who else?
Henry.
Henri. Okay. Who else?
Then Johnny and Grin with an 11. I have a higher dex.
Johnny and Grin. Gotcha. With an 11. Right. So you go before. And then who is it?
Eyes.
Okay. Awesome. Eyes. Oh, surprising. Yeah. And then what?
Kino, and last is brother.
Okay. All right. And okay. All right. So before,
since he's on my shoulder.
no, he's making performance checks. You do not know. So anyway, until eyes says what he says. Now, all right, go ahead, Abel. Before, without saying anything to anyone else, immediately as you hear eyes say that, you get to do something. What would you like to do?
Mm-hmm. And he said that Grin.
That's
woke
all
up.
he said.
Mm-hmm.
He said Grin's awake. Johnny, do it now. That's all he said.
I am just gonna. I think I was already close to Grin anyway.
You are.
Just
you're close to Turner Brother. Yep.
Pin him to the floor.
Well, so keep in mind that Brother is carrying Grin on his shoulder. So what would you like to do exactly?
I'm gonna say he's
tackle
moving,
him?
and then
tackle
Grin to the ground.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check, and let's see if you can grapple him.
Be able to assist.
Yeah, you totally can. Yep.
I still have advantage.
Yep.
So that's a straight up roll.
Yep. And then Grin, you get to oppose. Oh, you got a natural 20? Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
I think you won, but let's see.
That's fine. So you're not able to. Henri, do you have anything else you want to do? I think that's your action, but
Abel, you mean, not Henri?
Abel, I mean, yep. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Abel, is there anything else you want to do?
I really embarrassed myself trying to tackle him.
That's fine. Okay. All right. Henri, what do you want to do before anything else? All you know is just what we went through. What would you like? You can take your time, but no one else can say anything. That's fine. So she's stunned. That's totally fine. That's complete. I mean, all you saw was Abel going through it, so you're probably stunned anyway. That's completely fine. All right, Johnny. So this is what you saw. Abel went to go basically grab and tackle Grin. Grin just literally shrugged him off, elbowed him. He's like, there's no way that he can do this. This is all you can see. What would you like to do?
I'm going to banish Grin.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
Wow.
Go for it. Go for it. Okay, that's fine. You can back up.
That's a charisma save for Grin, DC 15.
Yep. Go for it, Grin.
Perfect.
12.
Okay. Grin, you're banished.
I activate the key code on my scepter and wait for it to activate.
Okay. All right. So the Grin. So that's fine. I don't have the book in initiative order for a reason. So go ahead and so Grin, you're currently banished. Go ahead and read your banishment spell. I believe what you're banished into basically a shadow plane for 1 minute. Is that right?
A demiplane.
Yeah,
Demiplane? Yeah.
Demiplane, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1 minute. It's a harmless demiplane.
Right. All right, Eyes.
The target remains there until the spell ends.
All right, Eyes. What would you like to do?
The target is incapacitated.
Yep.
I just look to Johnny and I stand next to Johnny and I say, "What happens next?"
Yep.
We step away from the book. The scepter will take care of the rest.
We just
I
doing this
step back behind Johnny.
Yep. All right, brother. What would you like to do?
We're outside.
Yeah. You're outside. You have enough squares that you're pretty much in the open at this point. Yep.
Just so no one steals it, I am gonna have the defender just hold the book, and what happens happens.
He's got it. Yep. He's got it. Yeah.
Alright, I'm pretty tapped out on just about everything. Actually, no, I am tapped out on everything. Where's the priest? Is he still
He's back.
inside?
Yeah, he's back inside. He didn't even come out with you. The reason why. That's why I was saying everything I was saying. The reason why is because the priest is basically, of course, going to watch and make sure you guys go do what you're doing. But he's probably doing something inside the church. So he's in the church. You can't see him. He's doing his own thing.
Alright, I'm gonna go inside the church and look for that priest.
Okay. So brother's gonna move his. Are you gonna double move?
Yeah, I'm dashing.
Okay. You totally can. So I'll get that in a second for you. But yep. Okay. Abel.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Did we skip Kino?
Oh, we did. I'm so sorry, Kino. We did skip you. I don't know how, but go, Kino. Before brother, you actually moved. So go ahead and move your turn.
I'm going to.
So brother's still there. Yep.
I'm going to hold my action until I see brother move and follow him as closely as I can.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Totally. You totally can. All right. All right. So brother, real quick. So you can double move and to get into the earshot of the priest, and then you can have a very short 6-second conversation with him. What would you like to do?
I will tell him that we found an alternate way to remove the book from this plane and that we are enacting that plan now.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, so at this point, Abel, you get an action,
Okay.
and then something's going to happen. Yep.
I am going to. Let me try and make certain how this works. I am going to cast. Who's there? That's Grin. You know. I'm going to cast.
It's Grin's banished, though. Yeah, Grin
Yeah,
is
I'm going to cast heroism on myself.
Yep.
And move away 20 feet forward, miniatures facing.
Oh,
No.
20 feet. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here?
No,
The other way?
yeah, right there.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. So,
No. Sorry. I was lagging. The other way. Opposite from where you went.
okay. So this way. Is that correct? When it catches up? Away from the
I want to
right?
try to be on the opposite side of the book from the rest of the party, just in case something's going to swoop in and grab it other than the portal.
Okay, that's fine. So I can put you in line with the book. You have enough movement. So
Okay.
does that make sense?
Okay. Yep. I want to be
All
20
right.
feet from the book.
Okay. At this point, your still defender explodes in a fiery mess. So he is gone. The book itself is now floating. The book itself is like floating in midair. It's not actually on that square. Hold on. And so the book is floating in midair with a bunch of like basically dark energy swirling it. It is 10 feet from where you are. It's just we can't see it yet. Henri, you can make an action. Well, the book is pretty close to you. The floating evil book. Yeah. So you moved away from Grin and where it was. Do you want to move anywhere else? Like double moving away? Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, Johnny. What would you like to do?
I aim the scepter towards the book and drop it so it can start absorbing the book, or lift it up if I need to since it's floating. Oh, Chris, are you still there? Hello?
Yeah, I think we lost him.
So you need to be within 5 feet of it. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's okay. I'm here. I'm here. Okay, so you do need to be like we discussed. It only works in a 5-foot radius, so you just have to be. You have to like go up to it and do the 5-foot thing. But you can absolutely do that. So you do the combination.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys basically see Johnny run directly towards the book. as he's doing that, he has this very elaborate like rod scepter that you've seen, and he's basically filling with the top and putting specific like basically ornamental runes in line. It's basically like a puzzle box where he's like going through and doing it as he's running up. He gets the 3 combinations done, and as he does that, the scepter actually opens, and where the crystal is on the top, that bursts into a huge blinding light of what looks like energy, and he literally starts to, with that same prismatic kind of energy, it starts to suck in air and everything it can within a 5-foot radius to the book. The book is going to try something. Let's see if it works. So you guys, close. You guys see the you guys do see that the book basically tries to let out like a huge pulse of dark energy. Johnny, you instinctively know that this is somehow the book trying to escape with magic, but it also, that dark energy envelops you and hits you and everything else. We'll resolve that in a second. You are actually able. So Johnny's scepter goes through and it literally sucks this book piece by piece. It almost looks like it's like ripping it apart and putting it back together instantly. The book is trying its best to basically go away, and the scepter does actually take it. Johnny, make a con save for me.
All right. Is Kino close enough to get a bonus from?
No.
No,
No, he's not even close. Yeah. No.
It's only within 10 feet.
6.
Okay. All right. So Johnny, you are at 0 hit points unconscious. So basically, what ends up happening is Johnny takes like all of the dark tendrils of the book itself inside of him. It like goes and like bursts through his chest and other things. He's bleeding. You're in a dying state right now. It did not overkill you. Let me just double check something though. Hold on. How many hit points do you have currently? I shouldn't say that. It could actually. How many hit points do you have, Johnny? How much HP do you have?
I'm looking right now. I gotta just pull up my sheet.
Yeah.
Load faster. There we go. I have 48 hit points.
Well, it's possible.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Okay, no, but it doesn't matter. The damage is for something else, so it does kill you outright. It's just it didn't overkill you or anything. It's basically these tendrils of like dark snakes and other things burst out of your body. They rip through you. Horrifically, you're now bleeding to death on the ground. Grin, you're still banished. So
Well, it's a concentration spell, so wouldn't he come back?
yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point. That's exactly right. So, Grin, you get shunted back into reality immediately. You see Johnny bleeding on the ground.
Be evil.
Does that make it my turn?
Yeah, it is your turn in the initiative order. Yep.
Okay.
Is the book still there?
No, the book's gone. The book's gone. Grin, you have no idea what happened. All you see is literally Johnny bleeding on the ground. No book in sight.
Which Grin am I?
You are the same Grin you've been for the last 2 sessions. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna look down at the dying Johnny.
Yep.
And I'm gonna run at brother.
Okay, so brother's like 60 feet away. Yep. The closest people are Johnny, Eyes. So I don't know if you can see the stream, but Johnny is right where he is dying. We have Eyes Black here. We have Henri over in this direction. And then Kino and Brother are inside the church. And then we have
Abel.
He went inside. I thought he was just off.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he's gonna run at Johnny and try and hit him with the glaive.
Yep, he is dying. So yep, go for it.
Wow, he's gonna miss. Oh, wait, no, he's prone, so I'd get advantage, right?
You do get advantage. Yeah, you do get advantage. That's probably important. Nice.
What's your AC?
18.
All right, then I still miss.
Yep. Nice job, Henri. Okay. All right. So eyes. All right, eyes. It's your turn. You notice, by
Okay.
the way, eyes. You're very perceptive. You notice that Grin is still not. He doesn't have a ton. Like he's still obviously in a state where he's not like healed fully and all that fun stuff.
Okay, so is he right next to Johnny? I didn't see his.
Yeah, he is. He
thing.
is. He is right next to Johnny. Yep.
So Eyes is going to run up to him and attack him with his rapier.
Yep.
And he's going because he saw him try to attack Johnny, and he's going to use sneak attack with his rakish audacity.
Awesome. Okay. Yep.
Hold on. Let's see. All right. Let's see if this works.
Yep.
Well, that's only a 14 to hit.
That misses me.
Yep.
And let's see. And then I am going to, let's see. I'm then going to back up away from him using my max move.
Yep.
And then I am going to do disengage.
Hold on. When you approach me because of my feet, you actually get an attack. I get an attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah, that is right. So go ahead. Well, you haven't used your reaction. That's right. Go ahead, but that's fine. We can
Is
go
that
ahead.
a reaction?
Yeah, it's
It
a
is.
reaction. Yeah. Unless you have something that can stop his reaction, he does get the attack. But that's okay.
The only thing that with someone that I attack, they cannot attack me. But I hadn't attacked him yet, so I'm coming into range, so I have to take the attack.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll the attack real quick.
So he doesn't hit.
Yeah,
with a 10
misses.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so same outcome. All right, so so in the 6-second conversation, the priest, you've told the priest that this is going on. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do? Because it's your turn, Kino. You're now with brother talking to the priest.
I am. Gosh, I'm gonna.
Keep in mind, you have no idea what's going on behind
Oh,
you.
we don't hear the commotion outside.
We don't hear anything outside.
You
of us?
you just hear the commotion of Johnny's staff, but that's it. You wouldn't necessarily. You're in the church, so you wouldn't have necessarily heard like what's happening to Grin, but you did hear a large commotion with the book, so you were able to hear that part. That was pretty noisy.
What did the priest look like he was doing?
He's actually casting a ritual. That's why he's busy. He's casting some kind of ritual. You can make.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a check. What is it? A religion?
Yeah, you can make a religion check on this one.
Got a 15. Brother got a 22.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, awesome, brother. He's attempting to sanction off his entire church to protect it. He's basically warding the church. So he's doing a spell that will basically arcane lock the church and also consecrate the entire church itself. But he's in the middle of it, so you guys are able to come in.
Do I see that Grin's back?
No. You just hear the crazy noise. You don't know what's going on yet. But you did hear whatever. So you heard magical energy when the book itself released that horrific explosion. Not to mention the fact that the staff made noise as it was trying to get sucked in. But you can't see. You don't really know what's going on. You can run back out, of course, but you're relatively close. Yeah.
I'm going to move back out the front door just because I also don't get arcane locked in here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be bad. I don't want to do that. And I am just checking.
You have nightmares of that, huh? Arcane locked into a church.
So when you get out, you would have line of sight to see that Johnny is lying bleeding on the ground. Grin is over top of him with his glaive, trying to kill him. You see that Henri's back here. Abel's like in shock, looking at it, and you see Eyes, who's like basically hastily running the other direction, but you don't know what happened, of course. Yeah.
Can I use my 1, 2, 3, 4? I'm going to move up my full movement.
Yep. 30.
And I'm going to cast command on Grin to lay prone.
Okay. Yep.
It's a DC 13 save. That is
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yep. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a nat 1.
Okay.
So that is all you can do until the end of your next turn.
All right. So you're prone, Grin. Okay. All right, brother.
All right, seeing him do the warding, I'll just leave him to his business and tell him that's probably a good idea, and take my movement outside of the building.
Yep.
To where I am eyesighted Grin, and I'm going to ask the ever so exhausted Z to do me one more favor.
Yep.
And I'm just reading something real quick. Sorry.
No worries.
Just want to make sure I get the spell effect right. Now, Grin is locked prone for the next round.
You saw, this is what happened. You saw Kino essentially like scream and command him to basically get on the ground, and you've seen this before, so you know that has to listen to what Kino's saying at this point, and Grin is lying on the floor. You've seen Kino do this to your enemies.
Yeah,
So.
I've seen her do that, so...
Yep.
I'm going to instruct Z to hold her action until Grin is released from this effect.
Okay. Yeah, she's on your next
word.
word, so.
She's going to hold the spell.
Okay. All right, Abel.
He just exasperatedly draws his sword.
Yep.
And sorry, old man. And runs up and hits him with it.
Yeah, of course. You get advantage. He's prone, so you get advantage on this.
Right. Oh my god. I am the worst typist ever. I'm way better in live.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
That's definitely a hit.
So 12 duel.
Okay. Grin, one of the things I think we talked about this previously, but you do have the item that we talked about in your possession. It's on your possession, just in case it becomes relative. But
okay,
yeah.
well, 12 brings me down to 0 again.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so Grin's dying.
Okay.
All right, so you basically go up and you literally basically cut into his chest pretty brutally.
Hopefully using the back edge and just bludgeoning him with it, but yeah.
Oh, are you wait, are you trying to do non-lethal?
Duel.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. You're doing non-lethal damage. You smack him over the head really hard with it. Okay. All right, cool. Yep.
Grin's gonna have such the worst concussion ever.
And I'll try to step between he and Johnny.
You can. The only thing is you're gonna need to push him out because he is still you could try to actually push him now that he's unconscious as a bonus action.
Sure. As a bonus action, I try to create space between them. And
yeah, let's see if you're strong enough. This is just his weight is the only thing that's basically going through. So go ahead and do your roll, strength.
Mm-hmm.
This is just going to be a DC, Grin. You don't get to actually oppose this one. It's just a straight DC when you're unconscious. So, what'd you get? Grin's pretty heavy. Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm tired.
It's fine. It doesn't. Okay. All right, Henri. I say, so you see all this, and now he's unconscious. You see Abel walk up and decimate the guy with his sword. So he's unconscious. What would you like to do, Henri? He's still right next to them. And by the way, Johnny is still dying. He's still bleeding out. Johnny's still dying, everyone. So. Yep. Yeah, you can try to stabilize him. But do you have the actual medicine kit? Because you need that. Yeah.
Well, you do have the bag of holding, remember? The bag of holding has a whole shitload of health potions.
Henri has the bag of holding?
Yeah, she does.
Not that you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you can. That's fine. He's unconscious. Yeah, you saw Abel do that. You know he is. Yep.
Yeah, we have 1 potion of healing in there.
All right. All right. Yeah, go. You can administer it to him. That's fine. You can do it as unconscious. Yeah, Johnny, that should be good for you. So.
2d4 plus 2.
Yep. Cool.
I have 10 hit points. Woo!
All right.
Good
All right.
roll.
So, all right. We can actually stay out of initiative order now because Grin's unconscious. So, it was going to be your turn next, though, Eyes. So, if there's anything you want to do,
Well, I was just going to go up to Grin. He actually does have rope, and he was going to start retying Grin up. And again, he's prone, so pulling back the legs, hog tying him, and then really cinching his arms back to his legs really hard, and making sure he's in a pretty bad position.
Okay. The staff. So, what? It's immediately after the staff had sucked the book into it, it became inactive again. But it's in Johnny's hands.
Staffed again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now we wait. And should probably get the hell out of here before the Arcane Brotherhood shows up.
Yeah, let's move now. Let's get the hell out of here. Brother, can you tell the priest we're leaving?
I think that's
Or not, let's
immaterial
not
at this
tell
point.
him.
We
Let's
might
just
just
go.
want to get out of here as quickly as we can.
I'll help.
Let's
I'll
go.
help Johnny out.
Who's carrying Grin, or are we leaving him?
Fuck it, ditch him.
I can't move this guy.
I look at Brother. It's up to you if you want to keep him. I just know it's dangerous if he dies.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I help him up with Abel.
Still not our Grin. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Eyes doesn't
Maybe.
help at all
Maybe
carrying Grin, but he stays close with his weapon, and if Grin moves, Eyes is going to jab him.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Are we
Yep.
moving towards our hotel room, or are
So-
we getting out of Wisconsin?
Yeah. So this is the Arcane Brotherhood. Just keep in mind on the map here, you'll see it. You see my mouse. That is the Arcane Brotherhood. That large structure there. Your rooms are down this section. You guys were up here before, so you do have a little bit of ways to go to get back to your rooms. Of course, the Arcane Brotherhood is closer. What do you guys want to do?
Where are we taking him?
Abel, timepiece?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Somewhere quiet.
Not till later.
I
We
mean,
just
if we
open
never
up a
come
hole
back,
to
we don't
another
have to worry about
dimension. I think we're a little bit beyond making a splash.
Now that's it. That's the other thing I wanted to actually like level set with everyone in the group. So there wasn't that many people in this district. However, at least 12 to 13 people you can like make a mental note of quickly. Saul, Eyes, you know that it's probably actually like you know that 18 people saw this, but everyone else in the group, you're thinking 12 to 13 or so. Eyes, you actually did see someone run immediately when this happened, and there's no way that you could actually catch up with this person. The other people are where my mouse is. They're all like running and moving out of the direction there. So people have seen this. They also saw the violent confrontation. They saw the magic, all that stuff. So
Do we just want to go back?
Yeah, and Eyes just says, I'm pretty sure I see people going to report it, so we just need to get out of here like right away.
How
The timepiece isn't set to me right now.
Oh no, it's set to Evil Grin, isn't it?
yeah. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I have it, but it's
It's a tune time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's get back to the hotel room and reattune it then.
Start retuning it now. Grab it while we walk.
Yeah.
I've had it on for like a half hour, but or whatever. But we haven't got that rest.
Quickest of paces. I think we should get to the hotel, grab your parents, maybe contact Karsus since we don't have a lot of time, and maybe he can get us the hell out of here.
Don't say this out loud, Johnny. Don't say this out loud. Don't say any names of anyone or any cities we're going to.
He already did, though. It doesn't matter. He already said it. He already said it. Yeah.
Damn it, Johnny.
Yep.
Yeah, then I guess we'll go pick up Henri's parents, and I will rub the favor of Karsus. Well, actually, no, I don't have the bag. Never mind. Yeah, fine. I'll just ask Henry for it back. Yeah. Yes, I'll take all that and all my items back and resituate and yeah. So as we walk, I'll rub Karsus's favor and we'll go back and collect our parents.
Gross.
Okay.
Intentional.
All right. Okay. All right, cool.
I'm going to whisper to Eyes to keep an eye on anyone following us and make sure that, you know, if they are, we should take a different, longer path and try to lose them.
Actually,
Yeah, Eyes will be hyper vigilant.
Okay.
I thought of it. Eyes, do you know of any safe houses around here? Somewhere quiet?
Well, I would suggest, that we go to a cheaper place than we're at now. And,
So Eyes, the only true safe house that you know of does exist in the Mirabar district for other merchants in case, like, basically you get run in with the law or whatever. Your guild paid for this previously. You don't know if your standing is still good, but there is a chance that you could basically have access to a real panic room that the guards wouldn't know about. But it's all the way in the Mirabar district.
all right, why I relay that information to brother.
Thoughts?
No matter what, though, we still got to get Henri's parents.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe Henri and somebody here should go with her, and then can all meet there. I can talk to Henri the entire time. Thanks to my
It might
book.
be best for us to stay together. Let's just go collect your parents and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys head for the Cutlass. As you go through and you get to the entrance of the Cutlass, everyone is going, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get there. You notice that there are two sea captains talking amongst themselves. You can tell with the regalia. You've already seen one of them, but there's another one that's also in very fine clothes. And as you walk in, Eyes, you would notice that they're basically looking in your direction suspiciously and like talking amongst themselves. But you've already seen this. Two sea captains means that you've seen this in previous things. Like if two very important people just happen to be where you're at a coincidence, this probably means that they're like looking to detain you or something.
Okay.
Eyes would have seen this right away before anyone else, and he would have also known this situation. So Eyes, I'll give you a heads up on this. Like you're one of the fastest anyway besides Grin, so you can tell all this to the group as you walk in. So
okay, then I do so.
Okay.
But I can't stop us from walking in. So
yeah, right. So basically, long story short, because you saw this, you basically just like hush everyone going through. They haven't seen anyone yet. But Eyes, unfortunately, they did see you come in. So the group has not been seen yet. They saw you. You still have an action where you can tell everyone basically to run, but you'd have to do it immediately now.
okay,
So
and that's what I.
Yeah.
Okay, so So they're not in the building, but I am. Is that what you're saying?
What ends up happening is that everyone was into the building. You went through because you're the most perceptive,
Yeah.
and you saw this immediately from the outside, ready to go in. So you're
Okay.
all very close to each other. You're all within like 10 feet of each other. You've seen it. You get like one chance to basically say whatever you want to say, and then we play it out.
Okay, and so I'll just tell everyone inside. There are two captains. They're going to arrest us. We can't go in. Run the other way.
All right. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we'll catch
Can you
up.
message your parents? Would you be able to message your parents right now?
Well, what I say to the group, head to the Mirror Bar district. I'll go around back. I'll climb up. I'll walk up the wall. I'll go in through the window. I'll bring Henri's parents down via rope and meet you there.
Okay. Cool. Well, see, that's.
Can't.
Yeah, but we
I
won't do
mean,
that.
you guys don't have this much. Unfortunately, though, the problem is that like he's telling you, and they've already seen eyes. So you have to make this choice really, really quickly. Unfortunately, otherwise you're going to be captured.
Right, so yeah. No, we literally
You
can't.
need
We
to get
don't
everyone
have it.
together, including your parents.
Yeah.
Timepiece needs to be set.
Yeah.
Like we got some planning to do.
Yeah.
I about face and start heading towards the
Yeah.
Mirror Bar district.
I'm
Okay.
right behind him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Eyes
so you guys
goes to run around the building to the other side. Intent is to climb up the side of the wall and just go in through the window, grab Henri's parents, drop a rope, have them slide down, and then we're gonna run for it.
Eyes, you're definitely good enough and better than most anyone here. So you can definitely stealth in and go through it. The only complication is, of course, Henri's parents. They're the drag here. So let's see real quick. So Eyes goes. So Eyes, you're gonna go ahead and start this. Everyone else, you're just gonna try to run to the Mirror Bar district. Now it's really important to tell me where. Like, just everyone needs to agree on plotting a path. So you're now here in the Cutlass, right? So right next to Half Moon Street. Tell me in general terms how you'd like to get there. Do you want to cut up across close to the Lusk ruins and then go over the main bridge that's connected to the Host Tower of Cain? How do you want to get there?
I want to take the far bridge. I think that's a better idea. We can go.
Yeah, not the
again,
one near the
trading
northeast.
posts.
The
Right.
middle bridge.
Right, the middle
Yeah.
bridge.
Now
Okay.
cut around the Prisoners Carnival, go through not the alleyways, but sort of like the side streets to get to that bridge. And the minute we
Yep.
cross the river, to go to that behind street near the trading post and take that back way into the Mirror Bar district. No,
We're
going
in the
around
captain's court area.
You're over here. You are close to that. You are close to that. Yes, you're in the High Captain's Court. That's
So we're
yep.
basically ditching through the woods around all of the high traffic
Into the
areas.
alleyways and stuff, right?
Okay, that's fun. No, they haven't. Like, this is you can tell if the Arcane Brotherhood. So as you guys start to run, at the very least, Kino would probably know this, but so as you guys start to run through this, if the Arcane Brotherhood was already on you and they were scrying you and had teleportation magic, they would just teleport in front of you and try to detain you. It has not happened yet. So you guys are able to go through this. It does take you a little bit of time. It's a very stressful run to duck into corners and go through it and try to be as stealthy as you possibly can. It takes you a good 15 minutes or so to get all the way up to kind of close to the area of where all this started. Now, here's the important thing. If you do want to take the middle bridge, just keep in mind the church is right here. So kind of explain what kind of route you want to take to try to go through that. Because obviously, as you start getting closer, a group of people have surrounded where that church is at this point. You see guards and other things.
We definitely want
If
to.
we can, I'd like to go alleyways around it. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Right,
definitely
right,
don't want
brother? I
to take
think
any
we're-
direct roads.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of alleyways to go through. The complication is that. Go ahead.
Chris, while we're running, can I bribe some children to go distract any sets of guards, that kind of stuff, and try to pull them away?
I was
Yeah,
about to
trying
say
to-
that.
just tell me how you like. What do you tell them? Sure,
Give
absolutely.
them 100 gold, and I say I need you to distract every guard from here all the way to the Mirror Bar district, and I'll give you more tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, 100 gold is a substantial amount of money, especially for children. So you give them 100 gold. As you go through this, you see a group of 5 children. There's 5 children in a group. They're all incredibly poor kids. They're literally playing in the dirt with like sticks and other things, but they also have another like it's 3 kids playing in front, and there's 2 kids looking in like the alleyway playing some kind of dice game. You can tell, Johnny, just at first glance that these kids are like either homeless or possibly just like related to parents that do not care where they are at this moment. So they are in like extreme poverty. What would you like to tell them explicitly once you give them 100 gold? What would you like
Give them 200 instead, just because I feel their plight from my own childhood, and I tell them, look, we need to get safely to the Mirabar district. We're going to be running across the middle bridge through this area in alleyways. If there are any guards blocking the bridges, I need you to clear them out of there, get them to chase you, whatever needs to be done, and this is yours before you even do it. I trust you to do this for us.
Okay. All right. All right. So all of them, their eyes light up. One of the kids starts like hitting the other kids. And he's like, "This is all mine." And he like takes the gold away from his hands. And he like takes all of it. And he says, "What do you want me to do?"
I want all of you to do this together. It's very important that all of you distract all the guards from here across the bridge to the Mirabar district, the middle bridge.
All right. Well, he's
Guards away from there and get us a clear path.
okay.
Hand Johnny a tinderbox and go, they'll use their imagination. Maybe use this.
Okay. All right.
I'm out
I
of
hand them
mulberry.
a tinderbox and some oil.
All right. Yeah, so the other kid, there's like, so like they're all like 9 to 12 or so. I mean, one of the kids literally starts crying. It's more gold than he's ever obviously seen in his entire life, and of course that would be true for you too, Johnny, until recently. So they all take through it. The larger kid reluctantly like gives it up. He realizes that basically what you're saying is that he won't get money if they don't work together. And they take the tender barracks, and he explains to them what to do. They're gonna go set a fire close to the bridge. So. Yeah, they'll do that. So,
Thank you, kids. Have a good one. If I ever see you again, I'll have another 100 gold for you.
okay.
Great, Sal.
All right. So they go off to do that. What would you guys like to do in the meantime? It's going to take them 10 minutes or so.
Stay hidden in the alleyways and discuss our path and
Yep.
what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody, so you guys are in a pretty dark alleyway as it is. And I don't know that this will be relevant, but everyone do their stealth checks. You do get advantage since you're in a dark alleyway. So you get advantage on stealth because no one you know of is really watching you, but everyone makes stealth checks and give me the lowest. But you do have an advantage on this.
So far, I'm the lowest.
You know, with an 11.
Okay.
I also have my helmet on and all my symbols away.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
I'm
But
literally
you're
a walking suit of armor, and I rolled a 20.
nice. Awesome. Yeah, you're
but
being
you
real. Okay, so
Alright.
Kino got the lowest at a 7, right?
11.
Oh, 11. Okay. All right, that's fine then. Okay. All right. So so you guys actually start to smell the smoke in the 8 minutes or so. There's enough distraction now that you think that you can probably run and make it over that bridge.
I apologize to. Is Eyes with us? Did we?
Not yet. No, Eyes is not cut up yet. You'll find out in a second. I'm rolling for Eyes anyway. So
Okay. I gotta apologize to Eyes for burning the city down. Did not expect that was what I was going to use the tinderbox I bought for all those weeks ago.
yeah, Eyes has got the hardest part, obviously, for everyone that understands. You guys would know this, is that Eyes can make it over here in like a heart easily. The problem is he's got to do it with Henri's parents. So, but anyway, all right.
He has a hat of disguise, right? Let's hope.
And we'll go through it. But all right. So you guys are able to run across the bridge pretty safely. No one sees you go through it, at least that you think. And you are able to make it all the way to the Mirabar district. Eyes kind of pointed you into the general direction of where to go. There is on the very, very edge of the wall over here a very small. It looks like it looks like it used to be an old bookstore that basically is no longer open. And and Eyes explains to you that if his guild standing is still good with this, or maybe no one's checked or whatever, there's this very specific knock that you have to do, which Eyes has given you. You guys go ahead and attempt to do it. Sure enough, the door actually does open, and you are able to get into this room. It does open in some kind of magical means because there's no one else inside, and it is definitely like abandoned. It's dusty. You haven't seen people what looks like maybe years. The door does lock and seal by arcane means. So, for instance, as you guys get inside, there's a glowing aura of like what looks like this red like light that basically seals the door closed after the knock is done. And you guys are there. So, Eyes, go ahead and just
well,
make.
let me
Go ahead.
tell you what I do. So I'm going to use
Yeah.
my, of course, boots of spider climb. I'm going to climb up to the window, open it up, hook up a rope, grab them, and meanwhile either grab a cloak or a sheet, help them down with the rope, then pull the rope down after. Then I'm going to roll on the ground in the sheet or the cloak and have Henri's father hold me over his shoulder. I'm very light, I'm very small, and I'm going to tell them and whisper to them where to walk straight across the bridge to the Mirror Bar district.
Yep. Okay.
God, Henri's parents must hate us by now.
Okay. No, that works. So do me a favor, Eyes, and
Yep.
all I need out of you is to just make a so you're basically so the idea is that they're holding you what looks like just a bundle of like
A bundle.
yeah, channel C6 or whatever. Okay. No, that's
And
actually
I'm light, I'm a bird, I'm small.
yeah. No, they can just do it. They're just going to go ahead and walk over. You explain them to go through the same exact thing. You do the special knock on the door. It does open, like they let you down. You guys shuffle inside. Everyone now is in this safe room. It's literally like an 8x8 room. It's very, very small. When you get inside, it's even smaller than what it looked like from the outside somehow. But the same thing happened. And Eyes, so when you guys paid for this thing, essentially there is a magical item that will provide food and water once a day for up to 20 people. There's also but no one can hear any sound from within this area. Also, the nice thing too is that once a day, it will actually let you see it'll let you see from like the bird's eye view of the entire Mirror Bar district, but all you can see is the Mirror Bar district. You can only do it once, and it only lasts for around 30 minutes, but you can actually see everything that's going on within the Mirror Bar district from it's basically a 200-foot vantage point as like a bird's eye, almost like you had like a drone or something, but it's basically just 200 feet in the air. It only lasts for 30 minutes or so, and it lets you watch down on that, and you can do it whenever you want. But that's it. That's it. All the room provides. Clearly, this was relatively expensive. A lot of merchants did this just in case they were ever to get in trouble. There is no escape, though. That's the thing that they were very clear about. Like, you kind of have to use this as your planning area, and then you have to leave. But there's no way to get out of the city with this or anything. It's just this. So. All right. What would you guys like to do?
I think a lot of us need to take a rest. A long rest.
Yes.
Are we going to set up watches so that we can make sure no one busts in this door?
Well, we have to watch Grin.
Yeah. So brother and myself and anybody else who's not tapped until the other tap people have gotten a decent rest. Is that the plan? Unless anybody else wants to do something specific.
I was gonna say I can start meditating.
All you got to do is slap him, and he'll go back down.
I'd really rather not hurt him.
Agreed.
Do you have a better way? I don't like it either, but
I mean, I think that ship's kind of sailed at this point.
All right. Well, so what's going to happen? So right now it's around six. It's with everything going on. It's around 3:00 in the afternoon. Are you guys going to go ahead and do a long rest?
I'm like, hit him, be nice to him, let him go, whatever you're going to do.
If we see
going
him
to bed.
start to stir, we'll knock him back down. But other than that,
Yep.
Are we gonna contact
Oh.
Karsus while we rest and stuff,
Johnny,
or would you rather not?
did the mistress say exactly how long it would take for her to do her thing and switch him back?
She did not. She said she's gonna have to do some research with the book, and she'll get back to me as soon as possible. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too long.
I
So
would
it
No,
might
like,
be
Eyes
the
does
best
say
idea
to the
slow
group.
down.
Yeah.
Eyes does say to the group that this is he was able to pay for this long ago because of the trading company when it was active, and because they're no longer here, that he can't leave the city until he takes care of the Silvered Bell. And whatever the rest of you are doing, that's fine, but he won't leave Luskin.
What do we need to do to take care of the Silvered Bell?
Find out who's responsible for the death of everyone, and then figure out what's right to do.
are you sure we
Could
can't
be
come back
fire,
when...
could be blood.
I also, there might have been a little fire already. I'm sorry about that. Are you sure we can't come back when there's less heat on us? This is very poor timing to be exacting revenge when we just, created quite a spectacle out in the street there.
Well, Eyes let you know that when it gets dark, or when he figures he's going to leave, go out, try to find information on the Silvered Bell, and then come back. And then, but he can't leave until he takes care of it.
Eyes, if you sign your name in this book, I can message you the entire time. It's nothing dangerous, I promise. I'll sign your trading company thing if that's what trust takes. But I swear to you, all this allows me to do is stay in contact with you. So if you need any emergency help while you're going out there at night, we can communicate. And it's all telepathic.
Eyes reluctantly pulls out the Eyes Black Trading Company agreement and presents it to you.
I present my book and I pull out a pen.
All right, we both sign.
Agreed.
Eyes goes, yes.
Okay. So Henri, your parents, by the way, immediately when they get in, they ask you what happened. You guys are catching up because they're obviously in a decent amount of distress and going through, and they also say, by the way, that they tell everyone that while you guys were gone, there was another group that came in with a fine looking like gentleman that looked like he had nautical dress on, and he was also asking a bunch of questions regarding the group. They explained they didn't really say anything. They didn't also allude to the fact that they were your parents, Henri. Your dad played everything really, really smart, but they do let you know that for whatever reason they're interested in you. It was the sea captains. They describe it was a group of sea captains, which are the most important people in Luskin. So. Yeah. Okay. So after 2 hours, Eyes, you notice this first with your passive that something happens with so the unconscious grin. Basically, it's really, really slight, but you can tell Eyes that he shifted a millimeter, and then Grin, you are there conscious with horns, small horns out of your head. Real quickly, Grin. So you were just previously in. Hold on, sorry guys, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure I have this right on my notes. Hold on. I'll bring it up for you guys too, but hold on. All right. All right. So Grin, you were just in Waterdeep. You were basically tied up as the group would brought you around, going through, and basically they've done many things with you that are hazy. That memory's going to come back because they have constantly been beating you up and taunting you and going back and forth. They are aware of the other group, by the way, Grin. But
Okay.
you were just in Waterdeep, and they had literally knocked you unconscious, brought you back to consciousness, and they brought you back to consciousness as they were murdering a group of merchants, and this is what. And then now you are finally back within the group, but you do have the small horns on your head and all that fun stuff. So.
And I'm
I
awake.
know
But
it's
it's
the whole
very,
thing.
very hazy because literally, as you've been in that group, immediately when they found out, which was like in the first hour, they have been knocking you unconscious, telling you they're going to kill you the entire time. They've been trying to get information on the group, which you have not given up, and that's why they've been threatening you. So basically, they're trying to get the other group's whereabouts. Again, they obviously want the other Grin back. And you have Grin. When Grin comes back, by the way, he's still bleeding. He has cuts all over him. They've not been very nice to you at all. And like I said, things will come back to you in time. I'll text you a bunch of it, and you can relay whatever you want. But the reality is that it's still hazy because you were constantly in a state of them knocking you unconscious and torturing you.
So,
So-
Chris, I take it I notice it's a different Grin.
You do well. It's definitely a physically different. Yeah, he's got horns. He's got cuts all over him. He shifted a millimeter, literally a millimeter in space. And the thing is, he's wearing slightly different clothes than the other Grin.
Okay.
You do have your own possessions with extras, which we'll talk about afterwards. But you do have all the stuff that you had, though, Grin. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I make sure to tell everyone, and
But you are conscious now because of what the book did. So I mean the Johnny's patron. So you're at least conscious coming back into it. Yeah.
all right, I make sure everyone knows he's conscious and he's different somehow.
I
Yep.
stopped my meditation and
Grin,
stand
is
up.
that the real you? Because the real Grin has horns.
Untie me
That
and
hard, Grin.
fight, you cowards. Untie me and fight me, cowards.
Grin, it's okay. Your friends are here. I'll put my hand on his shoulder. It's Johnny. Henry's here. We're all here.
You know, you are in a dark room, Grin. So it's dark. It's like it's twilight within the room constantly. That's part of the feature. You would have the drift glow light then too. So it's moderately bright actually. So Grin, the first thing you do notice though is that you notice your friends and then of course Henry's parents.
Wait, where am I?
You're in Luskin. You're in a
Back with
safe
us.
room, and you're with all of us.
How did I get here?
We dragged you here because we spent all day trying to wrestle you into submission because you were
Maybe Nick,
It's not the same one. This is a different Grin. Can't you tell?
It wasn't me. We got swapped.
Yes,
You
we know.
gotta let me free.
Can I roll an insight?
Of course, yeah, you
I'll
can.
aid you.
At 20.
All right, not 20. You still have to roll. It's still roll,
Yeah,
but
9.
okay. I mean, it definitely looks like he's telling the truth. It looks like Grin is telling the truth.
I-
It's the
Abel
He's
wants
telling the truth.
as Abel, I want to make a quick gesture towards him, like with my sword in my hand, and just see if he like flinches at that.
which he doesn't. I mean, besides the fact that let me just say exactly how, because if you look like you're going to hit him, he's going to
No,
flinch.
not actually
Yeah.
swing at him, but like make a quick turn while my hand's on my like hilt, kind of thing.
Yeah, he wouldn't flinch to that. No, yeah.
What's the last thing you remember?
Look
Grin?
at brother.
They were. I relay what you had just said. Chris,
Yeah,
that they
that's
were
fine.
waking me up to make me watch them murder people in Waterdeep, and
Yeah.
then they would beat me until I was unconscious again.
The only other thing you explicitly remember, though, is that the group was always laughing because brother was attempting to make himself some kind of mechanical dragon, and brother looks substantially different at this point. He actually has like jaws that basically, because one of the things that he'll do when he'll kill people is he will literally like bite their necks or try to bite their heads off,
Holy
and
shit.
he is literally trying to make himself into a dragon. They're pure evil. I mean, they're evil fucker. They're evil people. Yeah.
Yeah, I relay all that
That's-
information.
That's awesome. But super evil, and I'm sorry to hear that. What was the last thing you remember about us? This group.
We were in the sewers.
Yep.
Well, congrats on winning the
Pull out
race.
my knife and prepare to cut him free.
I'll
Hold
help
on.
you.
Before you do, I have an idea.
Okay.
I take it Z's probably asleep by now.
Yeah. Z's had a tough time anyway, but go ahead. Yep.
I'll just sort of nuzzle her awake real quick and just ask her for one more favor, then she gets sleep as long as she wants to, and I promise when we get somewhere safe, I will get her at least something nice.
Okay. Yep. Of course. Yep. Yeah,
That's
she
great.
begrudgingly gets up and goes through it, but she obviously will do this for you, brother. Yep.
And I will telepathically ask, and I'll just sort of kneel down to Grid since I assume he's prone on the floor, tied up like a cartoon.
Yep.
Say, we just need to be sure. It's been a strange few days. Z is going to probe your mind. It won't hurt. Just let her see what she needs to.
Hey, do whatever you gotta do, man.
Yep.
And now I'll nod to her and she'll cast Detect Thoughts.
Yeah. So, yep. So you get a stream of consciousness from Grim from that, right? Let me pull it up. Let's see. I think you get to read their mind. How does it work? Let's see.
Basically get to read her mind on the surface, and if she wants to probe Dieter, he has to make a wisdom saving throw, which he said he wouldn't.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you could. Yeah. So she cast this. Yep. Surface most of them. So Grin. So yeah, you're gonna be able to read everything that Grin just explained to you. She would also be able, since this was at his top of mind anyway. You're also gonna see some of the like traumas that Grin has had to go through. One of them that Grin doesn't even like he consciously remembers, but he's been like shrugging it aside, is the fact that the group itself, not only is the other brother trying to become some kind of mechanical dragon, but the other version of oh God, hold on. Sorry guys, hold on 1 second. Something else going on. Hold on 1 second for me. Yep. So the other version of Abel, he specifically remembers that he is basically putting together some kind of like murder machine that's been going through and essentially like torturing people that they brought back in. So that version of Abel is essentially they've been using Abel's like mechanical knowledge to set up these like traps to entertain themselves, and they'll just basically steal people from the cities they go in through and put them in it. It's pretty awful stuff.
Yeah, I don't try and hide anything from the Detect Thoughts.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I find out
Take
who
it,
his
brother,
parents
and see
are?
if I can cut him out.
How deep can I go down this rabbit hole?
My parents?
Yeah,
They're a pair of gnomes.
we're going way back.
I mean, she can. Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Why is that doing that? Hold on. Let's see. I'll bring it up. It says if you probe deep into the target, missing wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning. If any, it's something that looms large in its mind. Okay, so it does say. So Grin, if you don't want him to probe deeper, you just make your intelligence check to contest it, and it'll end the spell, essentially.
Grin's not trying to stop brother / Z from doing anything.
Yep.
But he wouldn't know who his parents are. Like
Yeah,
this
this is only. I was going to say this is only goes with your thoughts, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, but that's fine. You would get that information, brother. I'd allow that.
Unless you can dive so deep into my memories
I want
that
the
you
baby
witness
memories.
my birth.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. This is all surface stuff. But if like
I'm the infant.
yeah.
All right, so
All
all
right.
the service stuff, I'll
Great.
thank her for that, and I'll
It lasts
open
for.
up
Yep.
I'll relay all the information that I learned to the rest of the group and start untying him myself.
Okay.
So, you said you were in Waterdeep,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
and
Did you meet any La Diablos there?
Any what?
Who were tied up? I'm kidding. Any of my family. That's all I was asking.
I wouldn't know who your family is.
You know my last name. You're pretty boastful people.
I don't think I do know your last name.
I introduced myself with, well, okay, I'm sorry, Grin. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, he may not have remembered. Which
I
is normal. Yep.
I will start telling Grin
Especially
about
getting beat.
everything that has happened since he switched, and congratulate him on winning the race. And
Explain that you admitted to being a Tiamat worshiper and
No,
killing a bunch of innocent people on
Yeah,
a boat.
we would have added all that.
Yeah. Also, Grin. See, that's the one thing that as you go through things, you realize that you do have items that you didn't have previously. Like, for instance, you still have that ring, so you have the ring in your possession.
Henry has, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
give it to Henry.
That's my bad then. Yeah. So you wouldn't have it. Never mind.
and right now we're hiding, and
Yeah.
the book is evil.
Did I hurt anyone while I was? Well, not me. Did he hurt anyone?
I will finish cutting off the last ropes from him, and I said, "You
I'm
tried
already
to push
untying.
me. You tried to push me through a portal into Greyhawk, and I'm super glad you're back. But if you ever try and do that again, and I find out it's not even
Not the
you,
same person, Kino. Stop holding it against him.
I'm just
No one would hold anything
mean,
against you
really.
for your counterpart.
I'm happy that Grin's back.
The minute
And
I have him on bound, I'm just gonna give him a big old hug.
Yeah.
I'll join in.
Okay.
Real big
I
hug.
hug everybody.
I
Yeah.
like the horns, by the
Eyes
way.
is not going in for the hug.
I will pat people
Yeah.
on the back. I've only known you guys for like 2 weeks. This is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only known Grin for like 5 weeks.
You can already tell that you guys can tell eyes. I believe at this point you would probably start preparing because you're going to go out tonight. So you already see that eyes means business, and he's like going through and not only getting like some gear together for this endeavor, but he's busy doing this. Yeah.
Do I have the item that the book gave Evil Grin, like right at the end?
Yes, you do. You do have that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Grin's gonna take a moment to go through his stuff just to see
Yep.
if it's all there.
Yep.
Warn him to be careful touching anything, because if the book gave you anything, it could be extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Extremely, extremely dangerous.
Yeah, so you would find it, Grin. So what it looks like just a piece of black cloth essentially, and then when you start touching it, you realize that it's not. It's something more.
I kind of toss it on the floor away from me.
Yeah, and it does. So you guys see Grin toss what looks like a circular piece of really light cloth, and immediately when it hits the floor, it basically creates this large pit, essentially.
Can I roll
Oh, no.
an Arcana?
Oh, you
Yeah, of
son of
course
a
you can.
bitch.
You can.
I will assist in that.
Yep. Sure.
Oh no.
I got a 19 or an 18.
I got a 19.
Yeah, it looks like it's some kind of magical item that creates some kind of dimensional space.
Abel?
Like a
Oh,
hole
Yeah,
if you
can
could
we
take
set
it
that,
places.
please? Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
that's why you wanted
Can we-
to know
can
who
we
had
turn
the
that off?
bag.
Yeah, I mean, so right. So that's the thing, exactly. So Johnny would be the only one that would Johnny's basically Johnny when you went back, she explained to you that Grin would try to get out any way possible. Like at this point, like the book is going to protect itself no matter what. Putting two and two together, you would be able to understand now that the reason why the book may have given Grin this was that all he would have to do is get to the bag of holding and then combine them.
and rip a hole through space time. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that was probably the whole plan.
Well, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry I goaded you into
Glad
reading the
Evil
book.
Grin was down to do that to us.
So it's a portable hole.
Sounds like it.
Yes.
Is it? Is
So-
As
it?
far as we can tell.
Is it gone? Can we not pick it back up? now?
Eyes
No, you can pick it back up. It's he has this item now. He has
Eyes
this item.
asks if he can borrow it tonight, just in case.
I,
Can I
Take
take
it.
10 minutes to identify it properly?
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
I'll attempt to identify it.
Yeah, so I mean, if no one else wants to do anything, this is indeed a portable hole. So your theory does back up. Like if Grin had got this portable hole, and if he had put himself in the bag of holding, opened the portable hole, it would have created a interdimensional rift in the astral plane, destroyed every item within that bag, presumably taken anyone within a 10-foot radius with it. So yeah, it would have been a disaster if he had got through.
Yeah, it's just a regular portable hole. So
Yeah.
definitely
Is
just
there anything in it?
a kamikaze attack that Evil Grin was going to use.
No, I mean,
Ready.
so now that you know what it is and go through it, you can look inside of it, but no, it doesn't appear like there's anything within this.
So after you look at it, Eyes does ask Grin and Johnny if he can use it tonight when he heads out there.
Yeah, you can borrow it.
Should be relatively safe. Just don't do anything foolish with it.
I mean, I trust you.
Well, don't do anything more foolish than we've already done.
Sure.
Probably.
Which is
He'll help me hide if I need to.
Yeah, agreed.
By all means, you've earned it.
Is it
Remember,
safe to
all
go
you need
in?
to
So
do is
when,
think.
once he identifies it, so basically this is what happens. He identifies it. You guys start using it. It does create an extra dimensional hole. It's around 10 feet deep. It is cylindrical in its shape. And it is something that you can use to go inside of and hide and all that fun stuff. It just takes your action, Eyes, obviously. I'm sure you know how this works anyway. But if for whatever reason the hole is actually folded, like if you try to like basically capture a creature within it, though, it's decently easy for the creature to get out of it. They do just need to make a DC 10 strength check. But other than that, it works exactly as you would expect it to work.
All right.
So.
So when the time is ready, Chris, Eyes just goes out and
Yeah.
you can fast track that.
Yeah, of course. So Eyes, give me kind of an idea of how you'd like to start this investigation.
Yeah, he's just going to start by going to he was here that one night. I don't know, maybe it was
Yep.
even only a week ago, and
Yep.
he's going to go to those same contacts with the Thieves Guild to now that he knows and just try to get an idea of what the story was, what happened that 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So Eyes is going to be gone for. It's only going to take you an hour and a half to get the intel you need, Eyes, but because it's going to be easy to gather. Is there anything anyone wants to do until while Eyes is gone? If not, we'll fast track into what Eyes has.
I think we're all just resting up, waiting.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Turn
keep
to
an eye on my
brother.
books, so if he needs to send me a message of any sort, I have it right in front of me to read.
Yep.
And I would probably wait until Eyes leaves, and I'd probably turn to brother.
Yeah.
You know, I really did appreciate you sticking your neck out for me back, at the palace and at the temple. I know it would have been easy for you to let him go after me, and even if your reasoning behind it was completely sound and you letting him do so. I don't know.
People is casting to detect magic. Curious if anything is out of place where we are.
Yeah. The only, by the way, the only thing that you gather from the detect magic cable is the door is obviously magic, and then the space, the entire perimeter of the space is magical as well. Go ahead, Kino, while we go through that. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna finish by saying I know you didn't have to do it, and I hope one day I can return the favor.
Don't just thank me. It was a group call, not just me.
And I'm sorry I didn't trust you, Johnny.
Okay, my friend. I am glad I got you to listen. And if anything bad comes of this, I am more than willing to pay the price.
May the
All right, guys. What you gather is that the Silver Bell was able to use basically bribes and other resources where it was able to bribe one of the sea captains directly. Unfortunately, no one knows which captain was responsible for sanctioning this, but long story short, they paid a sum over 200,000 gold to eliminate not only your trading company but other smaller yours was the largest. They eliminated 6 other trading companies inside Luskin. This is only within Luskin. However, these 6 other trading companies were not fully established. And they weren't so they were trading companies only in the sense that they were a band of merchants coming through that had already like basically built contracts. They were not as established as yours, but they were still technically trading companies within like the Luskin legal system. And unfortunately, in order to get this done, one of the captains would have had to have sanctioned this, because once the hit was done, there was not only any retribution, but there wasn't even really an investigation done afterwards, which is how you know for sure one of the sea captains was behind this. That said, um, they do go through and basically give you the intel that you get is that you don't know exactly who the people were, obviously 30 years ago, that went through and like the individuals that killed it, but you do know leadership within the Silver Bell that still exists, obviously within not only the Mirabar district but in Luskin today. And there are 5 individuals that you could basically go through, stake out, and try to shake up, and you now have their information. Now, in order to get this information, you did have to. There's a couple things you had to do, and there's unfortunately just no way around it. You had to pay some money, so all this information cost you 200 gold, which I assume you would have given up freely to get
Sure.
this no matter
Yeah.
what. Then the other thing is that you had to basically promise these individuals under, like, they literally made you sign a contract with them. That's why this next thing you get a choice on, but the choice is this: there's one more piece of information on the exact location of all 5, but the only way to do that is you basically sign a non-aggression clause with every single one of these members, basically saying that not only will you not mention them, there's an NDA involved where you're never going to say their names, but on top of that, you are not going to, no matter what you find, you're not going to come back and basically retribute against them. Now, none of them were obviously directly involved with any of this, but of course, it's possible that some of them had, for instance, like indirect things where they knew about it, but they didn't basically report it. So that's the requirement to get the 5 people and where they're actually at. You do have to sign those if you're willing to do that. Otherwise, you just know there's 5.
Yeah, he would never sign such an agreement, or
Okay.
he would sign it with the full intention of violating it and burn their freaking houses down. So
Yeah. So it's up to you on what you want to do with that. Yeah.
sure, he'll lie his butt off and sign it and get the info.
Okay. Just do me a favor. Just make one deception check. You.
Sure.
I think you're okay at this anyway. But go ahead.
Not really, not with deception, but
Okay. Yeah. Just make a deception check before you go to sign. They just need to give a heads up if they think you're really
an
sincere.
18.
Oh, so they do. They think you're sincere. So that's fine. So you were able to go through this and sign all of these. So now you have 5 locations. One of them is close to the Winter Palace, which we'll get into. One of them is the one of the guys actually works right out of the Prisoners Carnival. It's a Silver Bell agent that basically works in the prison system. There's a Silver Bell agent that works in the captain's court. These are all people you would need to theoretically assassinate.
And what the heck is the Silver Bell, Chris?
Oh, so right. So they explained this to you. The Silver Bell is its own trading company. However, so the Silver Bell is just a trading company, a natural trading company within the Mirabar district that basically exists in many different cities. But they don't operate with, first of all, they don't call themselves the Silver Bell. The name of the trading company, the official name of the trading company that actually has shops in the Mirabar district is Lawns and Hammer. And they basically deal in armor and they deal in like potion trading goods. That's what their main thing is. However, the Silver Bell is their real name, and it's basically a secret organization that inserts itself into cities with important people within their organization. And what they do is they try to eliminate other companies that they feel are, for whatever reason, deserving of their retribution. So essentially, what they do is they kill or sabotage other businesses. This is all these people knew, um, and that's why your trading company essentially got its fate. For whatever reason, it was determined that your trading company had to go, at least within Luskin. So they're basically the Silver Bell are these secret agents. It's the real name of the organization, and they put people into important positions within cities. By the way, these guys, the people that you went through, they said that there's probably within many cities. It's not just Luskin. But Luskin would have been a much easier one for them to infiltrate, and sure enough, they did. They're in very important parts. There's one that runs the prisoner carnival. He's not the actual like warden, but he does have a high ranking position in there, and now you know where to find him. There is.
Can I get information on the ranks and kind of like the basic structure of the organization?
Well, so that's the thing. They had very limited knowledge on any of that, but they did know that the Silvered Bell is the real agency that basically they're basically. Oh, they also told you, by the way, that these people are relatively capable themselves. Like they're all like skilled assassins. These guys that are Silver Bell that are go through it. You're better than them for sure. At least you've sized yourself up better than them by what they've told you. But they're still like capable of killing people. So. But you don't know the actual org structure or anything like that. They didn't know.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway, so prisoners. So there's prisoners carnival. There's actually one of them is actually inside the Winter Palace. So one of them actually has a some kind of position. They weren't sure that, but they know exactly where the office is for you to go into it. So one of them does exist within the Winter Palace. It is a man though. The prisoner's carnival is also a man. There's actually one within the captain's court, a second lieutenant within the captain's court, which is going to be the most dangerous probably. They also have there's a shopkeeper, a relatively like high up merchant that actually runs their shop in the Mirabar district. He's also Silver Bell, and then there's one within the Red Dragon trading post. And the last one, unfortunately, works within the offices of the Arcane Brotherhood. He is not a mage, but he does work within the clerical offices of the Host Tower of the Arcane.
And Chris, just for accounting, that's 6.
Oh, did I give you 6? Hold
Yeah.
on, let me look at my notes. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Prisoners Carnival, Winter Palace.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's because I'm sorry. Nix the Winter Palace. I'm sorry. Nix the Winter Palace one. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I did create 6 originally. No, we were only doing 5. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, all that info, I head back to the secret room.
Yep. Okay. You're able to easily get back there and do that. Yeah.
Right.
Also, after, because I only have to meditate for 4 hours, after that, I'm just going to keep a general watch of the room and the opening. I figured this would be the rest of the night, just in case.
Immediately when you wake up from this long rest, you'll take the damage, and then you'll also have the extra visitor with you. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that. So
If Henri dies when she wakes up, I am gonna lose it.
yeah, no, obviously no one will see this coming, but okay. So if you guys are taking your long rest and you're going to go through the night. So around the time that you wake up, you do get the benefit of the long rest, but so are you going to porten the dragon's roll? Is that what? I see. Okay, hold on. Let me roll for you then. Hold on one second. Yeah. Go ahead and make your con check. Go ahead and make your con check. I'm going to roll damage anyway, so go make your con check.
If it's a saving
Okay.
throw, you get 2.
All right. So you how does that work? It's a con save. How does it work though, Kino? Like, is it always on?
It's always on. The only thing is you have to be within 10 feet of me, but it sounds like the room is small enough where
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, so you would
it's an
be
aura.
within. Yeah.
As long as I'm conscious, it's up.
Oh no, he gets +2, I think, right?
It's a +2.
It's a save. So you got is it did you get 6 +2? Okay. All right. Cool. That's fine. All right. So what are you doing with the dragon's roll then? Because the dragon will definitely die if we. What are you doing with that? Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. So this is what ends up happening. So Henri, you take 43 points of damage. Okay. So
Saying that, I will cast Cure Wounds.
well, so real quick, this is what ends up happening. Before she wakes up, Henri, so everyone would have seen this because the room is unfortunately small, and it's going to be uncomfortable for everyone too in a second. So, what ends up happening is that basically a very like Henri starts to vibrate uncontrollably. Her body starts to vibrate in a very unnatural sort of way. Not in the sense that she's actually having an epileptic fit, but like even down to her molecules starts to vibrate. And it does so in the point where it will literally push people away with some kind of like extra dimensional gravitational force where people get shunted. So it's enough to definitely like rouse people. And then there's a high pitch whirling, basically terrifying sound that happens during this. And then Henri stops, and basically you guys see a bunch of almost what look like magical waves, even maybe kind of gravitational waves or something, start clashing down on Henri herself to the point that it literally bludgeons her, presumably to death. On top of that, immediately as this happens, a small golden dragon that basically looks like it has gold metallic scales, the size of a house cat, that has a basically like this giant scorpion stinger on the back of it. Also gets shunted in immediately when this happens, and basically like falls and lays on Henri's chest, but it is alive. Yeah, if you had not ported that, it would definitely have died. Okay, so
Can I make an Arcana check to what happened to her?
you can, and then brother, at this point you would see that she's bleeding out of like her mouth, her eyes,
I
her
would have been awake, so
yeah.
I would have had a
Yeah.
full view of this. So
Yeah.
I will cast
Well,
Cure
same.
Wounds.
Okay, all right.
And does the dragon look like it also was hurt at all?
No, it just looks like it's exhausted now. It was not hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she regains 7 hit points.
Okay, all right.
And I got
I'll
a
use-
17 for my Arcana.
I'll
Yeah.
use 5 points of lay on hands to end the exhaustion.
Okay. Yep.
Now, who are you?
Yeah, so this golden dragon flies up into the height of the ceiling, goes all the way back. Its stinger is out, looking around at everyone. Telepathically, it communicates to you, Henri, and says, "What happened? Where are we? What is this? I didn't sign up for this." Yep. Now, Henri, you have all your memories now. Now that they've been coalesced, you have memories of everything. So, okay. So, yeah. Now, yeah, of course. And by the way, its eyes are bright red. Everyone can see this too. It's got like a glowing, like red eyes, and it's like up in the corner, trying to hide, trying to burrow in, but obviously it can't because the room is some kind of like magical construct. But it actually was trying with its claws to like burrow into the what it thought might be a rock. It can't though.
Chris,
Yeah,
would I
you're
know anything
safe.
about it?
Go ahead.
Eyes is flipping a platinum coin and just starts making cooing sounds.
Yeah. So anyone can make a nature check on this if they want to try to figure out what it is.
I don't
Um,
know.
they're famous. So like I said, anyone can actually make a nature check. It just depends on if you actually have heard of them. These are very famous things. They're very rare, but at the same time, because they're rare, you may not have ever heard of them. But they are famous.
But I rolled the highest with an 18.
Okay, so brother, you do actually know from its stinger, and from the fact that it's just from the fact that it's around the size of a house cat and small, and it looks like almost cuter than a normal dragon. This is something called a Suedo dragon. They are worth they're worth as much as a very nice house. 50,000 gold minimum. Sometimes they go for much higher because recently they've been thought to be extinct. Like there's just no more of them. You also know that like mages will use these as familiars. They grant all kinds of like really amazing things. They're always sought after. This with the right buyer, brother, this could probably, you think, go for hundreds of thousands of gold at this point. But anyway, it does look like it's a pseudo dragon. You also know that they have a very, very, very powerful sting that will paralyze you, sometimes for a long time. It has a very small chance of killing you too. But you also know they're semi-fragile and some other stuff. But that's basically the extent of what you know. So, okay.
You guys hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically so I don't know if you say any of this, brother, but you do know it's a pseudo dragon.
That
Anyone,
I won't say. I'll just.
Okay. Anyone who rolled, did anyone else, what's the other rolls?
Kino rolled a 16. Everyone else
I-
was 11.
I
was
had
gonna
rolled a
say
16 as well.
16 is the base. So Abel and Kino both know this is a pseudo dragon. You also know about the venom. You just don't know about how much they might be worth now that they're extinct, or it's thought to be extinct. But they're they're a pseudo dragon, and you know that they have really powerful stingers. You do not want to get stung by this thing.
Probably would have waited to offer lay on hands until it calms down then.
However, on top of that, as this dragon gets into like your view, Eyes is the only one that notices, but your eyes sparkle, Kino.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I guess would I? I guess I wouldn't know.
You would know. You would know. This Eyes is the only one who knows this. Yeah.
I says nothing.
Okay. So you guys notice that the pseudo dragon flies right above Henri.
Mhm.
And then telepathically, Henri, it asks you, it says, okay. It says, so give me all your gifts.
I will look into the bag of holding.
Yep.
Pull it up.
So immediately when she sees the bag of holding, and immediately when brother goes through this, you hear a voice come into your mind, brother, and she says, ooh, what can you offer me? You hear this now telepathically. It's a female voice that sounds relatively young, and you instinctively know that it is the Suedo dragon talking to you.
I figure I probably would have let Z sleep out. And
Oh,
so,
okay. So sorry, I didn't realize that. So the other thing immediately that she would have done is that once she sees Z, she would have had her stinger out, and she would have also telepathically gone to Z and said, "They're mine. Get away. This is mine." See, you get the impression. Z tells you everything that she's saying, and you get the impression that she also believes that this is a Suedo dragon that's not related to her. So she's going to be very territorial. She doesn't know that it's not.
I'll just calm her down and explain what's happening. And when the Suedo dragon says that to me, I'll just look over to her and say, no offense, but I already have my own attachment. I think you would do better with the wizard. And I'll hand Henri the rough cut gem and 4 chunks of obsidian.
Okay. At this point, the pseudo dragon would also fly around to everyone with magical affinity. So it reaches out first to Johnny and it says, "What kind of presents can you give me?" And then Kino, it reaches out to you and says, "Can you give me some great presents?" What it's doing is it's also opening up a channel so you can speak with it. It looks at you, eyes, and it goes to like
I
basically
got nothing.
it goes to fly over you, and then
Yeah.
it basically telepathically asks you. It says, "What kind of person are you?"
A person who likes shiny things.
And she looks at you, and she goes through it, and then she flies off, and she goes to you, Abel, and she says, "What kind of
Mhm.
person are you?"
I'm I'm a different kind of person from around here. I make things.
She said, "Do you make magic things?"
I do.
So what can you make me?
I don't know. I'm supposed to make some stuff for me and fix this, and I show some extra spare parts from the Defender,
All right. So
and
she,
probably some
yeah,
other stuff too.
yeah. So she flies back to Henri, and she says, "Okay, what can you give me?" Now, at this point, everyone that she's gone through to tune can hear her. She's opened a channel to all of you, so Kino, you can hear her, Johnny, you can hear her, all that stuff. But go ahead. Yep. Right. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. Yeah. She seems disappointed. Because you can feel her emotions, Henri. She seems disappointed. She doesn't think that's enough. She says, I need really important, really nice, really beautiful magic items. Don't you think I deserve that?"
Do you though? Don't do it.
Mm,
Okay. She does look at the drift globe, and she goes through and she says, "Who?" She says, "I need." She said, "Who else can give me something?" She's putting this to everyone.
I have a
I-
scepter.
Oh, yep. She says, She says, "You have to give me all of it." And she said, and then she looks over and she says, she said, "Maybe if you give me all of it, but I haven't made my decision, but all of it." She said, "No." She said, "No, no, no." She said, "I need all of it." She said, I was hoping you had more, to be honest, but I need all of it."
I'll throw something in that pot so that you stay with the young wizard. If I say telepathically, if you let her keep the globe, for it is one of her arcane focuses, and
Oh, sure, not her spell book.
Well,
well, both.
yeah, so she goes back to Kino. So she flies to Kino and she says, "Show me." She said, "What?" She said, "Show me what you have."
I also say all of that in Draconic.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
She says,
well,
"Wow, you speak dragon like I do." She said, "We're both dragons."
yeah.
I chuckle.
I pull out one of the shields that is
Yep.
still branded.
Okay.
This was branded by the father of dragons with the symbol of the mother of dragons.
She said, "Yep, I'll take that, but give me something better. I need something real, something better. But I do want that." She goes back to you,
Fair.
Henri, and she says, "Henri, that we're gonna do that too. That's also mine."
I will rest the shield against the pile of stuff in front of Henri.
Yep.
And you see, I
I'll
So
thought
just look around watching this, and I'll just say, She seems a little needy. We can easily pawn her off for at least 100,000 gold right now.
Yeah, she's real greedy. I'm with brother on this one.
I says I totally agree with brother, and he makes the sound of chinking coins.
Your familiar is far better and much
She
easier.
said,
She's
"I
going to be
am."
nothing but a pain.
She said, "I am incredibly special." She said, "I really am incredibly special." And she said, "You're almost there." She said, "I just need something something real, something really, really real."
I have the ring
Real.
of
These are
protection.
all real.
What?
She's not worth it.
The ring of protection.
So if you did you show it?
I just kind of I say that like out loud.
Oh yeah, she says yeah. She goes to honor. She says that. She said, "Give me that, and we have a deal."
Oh, both of those rings are better than mine.
Just that or all that?
Oh, everything. She wants all of it. She wants all of it.
Let's sell her.
Yeah, let's sell her.
I already have a familiar. She's much better. This one will
Consider
be
it-
nothing but heartache.
Shame on you, brother. Trying to sell a dragon after you have been through everything yourself.
You have no moral high ground on
Oh.
me. We could turn you in right now and you'll be dead by sunrise.
Hold on, whoa, hold on, guys. Why are you fighting?
Oh, they've been fighting a lot since you've been gone, Grin.
You just want to sell
Evil
this
Grin
dragon?
kicked a bee's nest.
Henri, is this thing worth it?
She said no. She said, "I'm absolutely worth it."
Would our
She
friends
said-
still have access to these things?
She explains to you, Andre. She said she takes them all. She says, "No, it's my destiny to be with a great wizard, and trust me, if it's our destiny together, this is nothing compared to what we're going to find together." But I'm not. I will absolutely not. Like she's. You can tell she's serious. She will not. Actually give herself to you and basically open up a bond of what she considers in her mind pure friendship like this unless this goes through. She's not compromising.
Little dragon, where will you keep all these?
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah.
I call out to the dragon again.
Yep.
I slowly raise the copper wire at Kino.
You can't hear me yet. I'm talking telepathically to the dragon.
Yep, go for it. You're gonna tell her what?
Sorry, I'm still raising the wire.
I know you don't know who I am, but I have devoted my entire life to dragonkind. So, while I cannot say I have any more baubles or trinkets, I can tell you that I can offer you protection, just like the rest of this group can. I don't want to see you squander it just because we're a few items short of your proposal. But trust me when I say you will not find a better wizard than her.
She reaches out to you and she says, "You don't understand. My destiny is to be with one of the greatest wizards in all of Faerun." She said, "This doesn't really." She said, "It either is Henri or it isn't Henri. But the only way for me to know is she has to give me amazing things. That's my destiny."
If you take all of her things, you are stripping her of being the greatest wizard.
She says, "Nope. If she's the one that goes through this and it's her destiny, then that means that there's far greater things in our future. So it doesn't matter." She is adamant. You can tell.
When the dragon mentions her destiny, I look at Henri and I say, "Follow your destiny. Do what you must."
I don't think he'll get a better offer than Henri can give him.
Yep.
See,
Do you want one more thing besides the ring?
No, she said as long as you give her the ring, she's good. But it has to be everything she asks for, including one of your shields, including Honor's shift globe. She wants it all. But that will be enough. She needs a specific tier of magic item which the ring will go through. She says, "So am I leaving or?" Yep.
If you want it, Henri, do it. Everyone has already let you make this decision. This is your thing. Take it. All of us are willing to sacrifice, so feel free. No guilt if you say yes. We all
It's
out
just
of character are saying it's okay.
I don't care that
You're
much
gonna get a
about
little
magic
sidekick.
items,
Yeah,
okay?
do it. It's fine. Not gonna hurt us. Plus, we're gonna eventually go spend that 20K on getting that magical map to find more artifacts and stuff. We'll be good.
Yeah. Plus, we have a whole bunch more money to make once we get back. It's really up to you. I mean, it just seems like a high price.
Yeah, I agree. It seems expensive, but I mean, if giving it gives you a better reward, take it.
And she's gonna want more down the road too.
Yeah. You're just gonna have to. It's a sacrifice you're gonna have to be willing to make, probably
Constantly.
until the end. Or we could sell her, and then we make 100K right off the door.
It's a big responsibility,
Yeah,
You're
what
gonna
could
have
go
to
wrong?
feed her and take her outside.
So
and-
I
Henri,
have 3 kids. It's a lot.
she's bound to Henri the most. So what Henri does know through this link is that she's being sincere, Henri, in the sense that she's just asking for these things. She won't actually. This is a price to bond, and then it's not like she can take that back. You would know this because she spent the most time with you, and because you had that huge thing with her anyway. And she's opened herself up in that respect. It's part of the process with this. So no, she's not going to ask you for more magic items, but she will ask you for these. She's definitely taking it all. You are not getting. Yeah, she's taking it all.
We'll get more
It's a
stuff.
one-time buy-in. What's the worst that could happen?
Grin's ring of
Yeah.
protection.
Yep. Yep.
Ugh.
That was
I mean-
what. Yeah, she needs it. That is probably the most important thing to her. But yes, she needs it all. She said, "Nope, I need all of it." Anyway,
Where'd you come from?
while Henri's making that decision, so eyes. At this point, you obviously would have like come back and gone through everything and told the group, or at least you would have all that information. Do you want to relay this to the group, or?
I just, what I relay from the information I got is just that I found out who the Silver Bell is and what they are, and he says he has to think on it.
Okay.
I'm
But he
gonna go
doesn't
over to
provide them
Eyes.
more information than that.
Okay.
What's that?
I'm gonna ask guys, do you think we could pay someone else to handle the lightweight for us, or is it too dangerous for someone below our stature?
This is something I have to handle for sure. It seems like a bigger problem than just here.
Oh. Well, we should discuss it at some point. I'm here to listen whenever you need.
Okay. All right. So if you gather everything around with all of that stuff, what she'll do is she will lay on top of the horde, and in a blue light, it does go away, and then immediately she goes into your arms, Henri, just like a cat, and basically Henri and the Suedo dragon glow a bright red, like an almost it's honestly it's described as pink, but it's like a reddish, like I guess soft red, like pink aura. And something magical clearly happened. Henri, you do get to have this as a familiar. Let me explain real quick all the things that you know that it has right off the bat. So hold on one second. You do get to take its magical resistance. You can now see invisible. So when the first time that you go through and look out of the Swader Dragon's eyes, the Swader Dragon can actually see invisible creatures. So you do get basically you can see invisible creatures. You can't see ghosts or whatever, but if someone's invisible, you can now see it. On top of that, so the way that it does have it is able to attack things, and I'll give you the whole stat block. If you use its venom, which is this is the second edition form. It's incredibly useful in the sense that it will paralyze someone 1d4 hours. However, I also roll a d20 because there is a chance that you can get into it can release too much venom, and it also has an ability to do it on purpose. There is always a 1% chance that someone can die from this sting. On top of that, no, so the second edition one is 1%. It's 1% to die. Now the other problem is that it can also there is a 25% chance though that it can do its venom like basically too much, and you can be paralyzed for as much as a week. And if you don't get any food or water, you are going to die anyway. So there's that too. But you can die outright. There's a 1% chance that anything stung by this can just die. Now, the other thing, like I'm sure you've seen the stat block or whatever, so you now have this. It does have 6 hit points. It's very, very fragile. It can only Revivify does not work on this, and it needs to be resurrected with true resurrection. So it's not in your material. It's like its soul doesn't exist in your material plane or anything like that. I will get you the stat block. The other neat thing about this, in the outside terms, is that now you actually unlock the ability to also and she explains this right off the bat, but we'll do this in game 2. But just so you understand from what you traded, you do get the ability to find her siblings. And then the other thing is that, and the different dragons do have different gold. She has a hidden ability because she's a gold Sota dragon that you'll find out about later. But anyway, I'll give you her actual stat block. Well, she's not going to give it up yet, so that's the reality. But anyway,
Welcome to
but yeah.
Bronic World.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep. Oh, and yep. So that's the other thing. The other thing, keep in mind, in anyone that gets one of these, you do not unfortunately get to banish your find familiar spell. It's just part of this, and I explained this to you before, Henri, but you still have to keep that up, and it's just wasted at this point. Like you don't get to recycle that into something else. All right. Okay. Cool. So that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so outside of all of that, though, there is some other hidden stuff, and I'll give it to you in D&D Beyond, but you can find Swader Dragon in D&D Beyond too. All right. But anyway, so Henri, at this point, though, she does. Now it's only Henri that can talk to her. She's locked herself out to everyone else, and this is a lifelong thing. She can decide to break this bond, but this is a pretty serious thing for her. So you guys are now bonded until it's broken. So death, or there are some other hidden things which I know you've seen in the video. So I know not to meta those, but there are some things that can be broken with this, very specific things that she does not impart to you. But you can figure this out with her personality as we go. So, yeah. No, she went into your arms because she wants to be like cuddled like a baby right now. Yeah. She said, "Yep." She said, "I knew you were the right person." And she so after you guys see this and go through it, even though you can't communicate to her anymore, she does, by the way, shove your shield back into existence, Kino, and she says, "This wasn't even real. Thanks so much." She says that to you, Henri. But Kino, the shield basically gets flung at you, and like hits you in the chest.
Oh, okay. Oh. Does it still have the symbol on it?
It does. Yeah.
I mean, I swear it is. It's got the symbol. Well,
She says it to
either way,
Henri.
thank you.
Sorry, Henri, you can relay that to her though. But yeah, you can relay it.
What? I mean,
Yeah, it's
I hold
not
the
real.
I hold the shield up. What? Do you, Henri?
She says, no,
can
it's
you-
not a real magic item. I don't know what's on this, but it's not
Is
anything that I
it my
like.
infusion?
I just
No,
do to the pseudo regulus.
you're not. Yeah.
I mean, it vibrated and heated up when I went in the church. It's still magic.
Yeah. She says,
Oh,
I don't like. She says, I don't like it. She says, I don't like
Well,
it.
fair
I'll
enough.
just turn to the Sueda Dragon and say,
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust anything that she gives you. She's a follower of Tiamat.
And don't forget, he tried to sell you. I did
I
not.
didn't actually. I said that out of character, but still.
And she said, by the way, she said, am I the most beautiful dragon you've ever seen, Henri? Well, tell them all that. Tell them,
Pat brother on
tell
the
them all
back.
that
got
all the
tough luck.
time. Yeah, she does say that to you. She says you should tell them. You should tell them so they know. Yeah, the good dragon clearly likes that. So
brother.
yeah. So you guys are stuck in this room right now, and there was nothing else that you wanted to do in the meantime, right? Besides plan how you guys are going to get out of this. Like, there's nothing. Are you going to do any kind of action with your intel, or are you just waiting to see what happens at this point?
Nah, for now, no.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So it's now been like you guys have been in this room now for 9 hours. You do have the ability to basically see what's on the outside of the Mirabar district, but other than that, you'd have to leave the room. Eyes, you do take them over to the magical altar. It's basically this what looks like metallic magical altar with some gold like scratched on it. It looks like a luxury item, but it does look like a small altar. And Eyes shows you how to use it. Basically, you put your hand on it, you think about what you want to eat, and food appears.
Nice replicator.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent magical item. It's
Ooh,
bolted.
Earl Grey, hot.
It is bolted to the ground and like fused by some kind of magical means. If anyone does try to like move it, but but it's there for the room so that you can eat.
Pretty certain Abel tries to make it create some weird Ravnica stuff.
Yeah, it will not be able to, Abel, but it does try to get you the closest facsimile to that it can basically bring up. But it's not able to get it perfect.
What is the fanciest dish I could ever try in Faerun?
Yeah, some of those dragon steaks.
Well, so if you do try to ask for anything exuberantly fancy or like something like that, for instance, what it will do is it will give you what it thinks is the magic item thinks that is the best meal it can give you. It'll give you like a really nice steak or something, but it will not give you dragon meat or anything exotic.
Okay, I asked for a good steak then.
Yep. Yeah, it
High
does.
quality meat.
Oh, and he sorry, I just got the text. Sorry guys. Grin does look normal. Sorry about that. You probably texted that a while ago. But all right.
So he doesn't have horns now?
No. He does look like normal Grin before he left, but he does have the horns and everything else. He looks like he's stabilized at this point now the brothers healed him, and he still does have the horns and everything from like previously that you know about. But there's nothing like necessarily off with Grin other than the fact that he has these two small horns. So.
So Henri,
in the morning.
Yep.
Sorry, you can go, Abel.
In the morning, Abel basically reforms his defender out of some of the few remaining parts.
Yeah.
And does something to a pair of boots, and then asks the party, "What do you guys want? What am I making magic? The weapons? Does someone need one?"
I'd take
What's
the +1 glaive again.
All right.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
What is that?
Yep. And it says, "Hello, Henri. Nice to meet you today. What do you need from me?"
Ooh.
So Henri, your dragon says, "Why didn't you offer what?" She said, "What? That's what I wanted." She said, "You are very sneaky." But anyway, so basically it says, "Hello, I am," and it basically explains that it is a sentient being that you can ask questions to, but it only knows logic or history from the place that it was created. In this case, Greyhawk.
Tell me about the Sword of Answering.
He said, "Oh, the Sword of Answering," and it goes through and it gives like a bright vibration. It starts to glow. Hold on one second. I need to make some checks. It gets advantage on these. Let's see.
So, Henri, you were in
All right.
Greyhawk? You were in the tomb. Were you with the other group? Oh boy. I pull out the book and I slam it on
I
the table.
wink accidentally.
They're gonna hate
On
us.
purpose.
I pull out the demonic dragon book and I put it on the table. Yeah, I took this from them by accident. When I got zapped out. Ooh. No. We have to bring stuff back. Maybe we'll get him a gift, like a thank you.
Card.
I look
Yeah.
at brother as Kino pulls out that demonic dragon book.
Also, if anyone wants
Expected
to,
anything less of her?
if anyone
Uh-huh.
wants, I am not compelled to keep this book. Anyone can identify it. I slide it
Yeah.
out to the center of the table.
So,
Anyone can identify it.
and by the way, the orb does come back, and it says, "So, in the world of Greyhawk, there are only 10 of these blades that are known to exist. However, only 9 are fully functioning and like operable. Each is patterned off the legendary sword Fragarak, which is variously trained as Final Word. Each of the 9 swords has its own name, and each of the 9 swords has different characteristics and personalities. Each bears a different gem in its pommel." It says, "But what do you want to know about the sword specifically?"
Tell me about.
Where are they?
Sure.
He said, well, why, all of them are in Greyhawk, of course."
Well, I have this one, and I hold up Answerer. Tell me about Answerer.
It said, do you, do,
So
you,
the professor's right?
do you say that to the orb? It says, "No, actually, wrong. All swords are in Greyhawk, Henri."
Yeah, tell me about this sword. I hold it up.
Yep. All right, let's see. It says, Answerer. It says, "This is a mischievous sword, probably good in nature." He said, "It is currently in the free city of Greyhawk."
That's untrue. We found it in Luskin, underneath the city of Luskin in Faerun.
Right in front of you. How?
We are not in Greyhawk.
He says, "Henri, that is not true. We are in Greyhawk."
Oh, you got a broken orb,
Uh,
Henri.
Is there a window in this place?
No.
There's
You can
not.
look outside using the little TV thing for a couple
Yeah,
minutes. or
let's
whatever.
use a little TVI, the Ring doorbell.
It's very early. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, the sun would be up. Sure.
Do you think we're in Greyhawk
We activate
right
the
now?
TV things and show the orb professor thing.
Okay. Greyhawk orb. Tell us about this golden pseudo dragon.
Yep. So it does vibrate and light up. It looks at the pseudo dragon, like it levitates a bit. Looks at the pseudo dragon, and it goes through pseudo dragons. It says very very rare creature, originally from Greyhawk. It says, what would you like to know specifically about the pseudo dragon?
Are there any more?
He said, currently there are 5 pseudo dragons non bonded in existence. He said, however, there are a total of 16 pseudo dragons.
What colors or metals are the unbonded ones?
Let's find out if it knows. This one it might not. Let's see. It does. So it explains to you that it doesn't know. He says, unfortunately, because these things are living beings and they're going through and changing and dying and for maybe other reasons as well that my basically intelligence and knowledge do not know, I cannot give you that answer.
Okay. I look to the rest of the group. I don't know that much else about Greyhawk. Johnny, you seem to have been to Greyhawk before. Why don't you ask it something?
What other major relics are there in Greyhawk? And do you know what actually happened to the main city of Greyhawk?
Well,
Or
let's deal with that other one first. So you ask you what happened to the free city of Greyhawk, which is where you were. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So hold on. All right. So it does answer you. This one didn't know. It says the free city of Greyhawk, also known as Greyhawk City or the Gem of Flanese. He says this was one of the largest and most populated cities in all of Flanese. It does like pause as after it says all this, and it looks like it's like going through and having a bit of a like problem going through this, but it does say Greyhawk, named for the small gray hawks which populate the region, was originally a trading outpost of the Slentient River, specializing in local wood and woven garments. In the time the town developed strong textiles and meatpacking industries, and it tends to like fade off. And it's basically like talking really, 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 really like basically lowly right now. Eyes, you can still make it out. All you hear though is circa 310, the mage Ziga Yarn emerged from the wild coast and bribed his way into the seat of the directing Oglarch, and then it's like completely silent. You can't hear anything else.
Okay, what major relics are there in Greyhawk?
All right. All right. So at this point now, because it's Johnny, go ahead and make your Arcana check on this magic item because it is acting strangely. I imagine you would have anyway. So, Henri, go ahead and do the same.
His own luck. Gives me a 14. Woohoo! Useless.
All right.
I could have just waited.
Henri, it is very possible because this is a sentient magical item that it is having some kind of problem going through the portal, kind of like you might have had. And it is, you're not exactly sure, but you know that it's having some kind of problem. There's some problem. Yeah, the only thing the nat 20 does tell you for sure is that the only thing that it does tell you for sure, it's a good point though. The only thing that it does tell you for sure is that it is going through some kind of process and was most likely damaged in the transfer because it was sentient. Yeah.
Can we have Abel take a look at it?
I just rolled a 10.
Oh, never mind.
Well, Abel, this is just not something that Abel's familiar with. Like Abel can look at these orbs and go through it and potentially like try to uncover things, but it will take him a long time. And this is not anything that he's ever like worked with before. This is a very complicated magical item that doesn't even seem like it has seams or anything. It's not like Abel can open this thing up, so it would take him a long time to try. But anyway, oh sorry. So it would just take a long time. So anyway, while we're stuck in this building and going through it, is there anything that anyone wants to do strategically while we have this time?
I am gonna take my scepter and go over to Abel and show him the key code thing and take a look at it with him.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can start messing with that. By the way, you do the same key code, but it doesn't open the scepter again, Johnny. But you guys can start looking at the scepter together.
I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
ritual cast detect languages to
Yep.
see if that will help us while translating and doing stuff.
And I'll
Sure.
ritual cast detect magic and identify,
Yep.
as part of my
Yep.
investigation.
Yep. Sure.
And I'm going to pull out answer and
Yeah.
start trying to talk to it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm letting everyone know I'm not just pulling it out. I'm going to go, hey, I'm just going to answer some questions just so everyone knows that I'm going to unsheath it and everyone's cool and I'm not going to do anything.
Yep. Yeah, go for it. No, it would not. Yeah.
While this is going on, I'd rather just be sitting in the corner, silently feeding Z and sort of holding out his prayer book and doing his morning routine.
Yep.
Grin's gonna go through his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
While Kino is playing with the sword, Eyes will go over to her and let her know about what happened with her eyes when the pseudo dragon appeared.
Wait, what?
Yep.
My eyes? What did they look like? Was it cool?
I don't know. They kind of shined and sparkled. Don't they always shine? But anyhow,
mean-
something like that.
I mean, I'm always like pretty cool looking. So, but I don't know. I mean, I feel kind of the same.
Maybe it's your cousin.
Well, who knows? Anything. I guess I can't rule anything out at this point. But thank
Chris,
you
I
for letting
sent
me
you
know.
some messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
So-
Chris, I'm
so-
definitely going to
yep.
use that vision to look outside in the Mirror Bar district to see
Cool.
what's going on.
Okay. All right. We'll do that first, then we'll resolve all the other things. One quick note, though, is Decipher Language doesn't give you. This is some kind of secret code. You have no idea. Decipher Languages doesn't help you with anything on the rod. Abel, this is a very, 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 very high-level magical item when you go through the identify, but it's for the first time when you do identify, it's
Mhm.
literally shielded. Everything that comes back to you is purely confusion. So you can't identify this and you don't know why, but it's worse once you do let the identify off. You normally
Yeah.
get to figure out magic items and stuff. You now have more questions than you had answers trying to identify this thing. The only thing that you can think of on why that could happen or what could lead to something like that is that you've heard stories. You've heard stories of these specifically magical items, and you would be the only one that knows this because that's like their thing. Like you specifically learn about magical items so you can create them. There's been like talk in the past of magical items that have been created by certain gods and other things, and they will literally have this confusion, basically mechanism that will not allow you to understand that item ever.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, go ahead.
Do I believe that if I ask the Modron, it might have some insight about this item?
It's possible. Yeah. Yeah, it's possible.
I'll pull that out and ask it then.
All right. As you're doing that, so Eyes, you basically activate the magical item that will go through and let you see things. And as your vision starts to go up about 100 feet and then 200 feet, you are able to see the Mirror Bar district really clearly. What you do notice is that there are actually guards outside doing a patrol, and when you start really looking at things, you realize that they are looking for someone. So there's 3 groups of guards in a platoon of 20 guards apiece, and they're going through actually looking for probably your group within the city. Number one. Number two, what you also notice is that the entire like area around, even though it's only like 9 in the morning, it's dark outside. It's like twilight, which is confusing to you. So there's those 2 things. You can still see the guards, though. I mean, it's light enough that you can actually see, but this is not natural morning light. It's darker outside. All right.
So obviously, probably others can see what I'm seeing, or if they can, I
No.
relay
So
it.
they only one person can use this at a time. Only you can see it for now, but it isn't going to be up for 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes from now to see this, and you can relay this, and other people can look for themselves if they want. But it's going to be on for 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So I do so, and I look around, and then I also look to see if I see the office of Lawns and Hammer.
You do. You are able to make it out. So it's relatively close. It's only 3 blocks down, and you even so basically it's a large front-facing building with what looks like probably a connected storeroom that's connected to a storefront. So there's like a warehouse in the back that's the size of probably like a 5,000 square foot house behind it, and then the it's like a 1,200 square foot storefront with like a much larger 5,000 square foot, like larger, like it's all built from wood and stuff, but it's like a storehouse behind it. But you start looking, and you start like going through the windows. You see that there are several windows in the back that could be easily used to like climb into it. There's 4 in the back. There's it doesn't look like there's any kind of defensible guards out front, so you could probably get in this building pretty easily.
I try to use the viewing device to see if I can actually go through a building.
Oh, to get to it? So no, you can't.
To see through to
No,
bring the vision really close through the
Yeah.
walls of the building.
It doesn't allow you to do any of that, unfortunately, and it also doesn't. It still makes you have a bird's eye view. Like you can't get street level with this thing, but
Yeah.
but you are able to at least use it to see where the exits are, where the windows are, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so Abel, you went through all that. Johnny, unfortunately, this is some kind of secret language that isn't something that you can use with identify languages to figure it out. You're not sure how it works. Abel's very confused by this. Yeah. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to do with the device?
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask the monodrone about it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So go ahead. Go ahead and ask the question, and we'll do its role. Yeah.
I will just take out the modron, show it to it. And I'll have a little bit of a preamble to the question of the information I did understand about that effect and where it was found. And I'm like, is this an item that you are aware of and know anything about?
The only thing that it can tell you is that the item is from Eberron, and the deity who made it is from Eberron. That's all it can tell you.
Okay, that was very helpful.
Yeah, it says this out loud. Everyone can hear, obviously, because the modem just talked. But that's all it says. It says deity and it says Eberron.
I'm going. As you can tell, it's from a deity in Eberron. Perhaps Brother might find some sigils or symbolism or imagery on it that would say which god.
Okay. Thanks, Sable. That's all the help.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, Brother, are you going to look at it?
He'll be right back. He had to go on a bio break.
Okay, that's fine. No worries.
The bigger question is, Johnny going to show it to him?
Yeah, I just have answer. I just want to ask a few questions.
Yeah, that's right. So let's go back to you, Kino. So immediately when you pull answer out, by the way, the blade glows a sun-colored yellow, and it now looks like it's, instead of like rusty and chipped, it looks like the blade is basically mended itself.
Interesting. Hello? Can you talk to me?
It says, "Did I hear Greyhawk?"
Yes, we have apparently a pseudo dragon and a Professor Orb from Greyhawk.
He said, "Oh," he said, "one of those cat dragons."
Yes, has taken quite a liking to one of my friends.
He said, "So he says, so what did we learn?"
Uh, well, we kind of have more questions than answers now. Um, we learned a little bit about some dragons being out there and about a little bit about the city, and we learned a little bit about there being swords. Uh, when Do you know anything about your surroundings? If I were to ask you what plane you are on right now, what would you say?
He says, "I have no idea. What plane are we on?"
I mean, we're not in Greyhawk anymore. We're in Faerun.
He said, "No, no, I know." He said, "But where are we?"
We're in the city of Luskin. I found you in the sewers.
He said, "Yep." He said, I remember the sewers."
I just wanted to ask you, uh, who was the last person to wield you before I attuned to you?
He was not worthy.
Well, obviously, but how did he die?
He said, he said, well, he said, let's become better friends."
Oh, you know what? That's fair. I don't want to intrude, but uh, would you be able to tell me just so I can get to know you better? Who do you have a preference for going after as opposed to not? Because you seem like someone that knows what they want and have a very strict set of morals, which I appreciate. I just
All
would
right.
like to know them.
Yep. So at this point, you guys see Kino. Anyone that's paying attention to Kino, you guys see that Kino like slumps over. Kino, you lose consciousness for a couple seconds.
Okay.
The sword shows you Kino, by the way. So the sword shows you a vision of basically a man holding the sword on top of what looks like a 20-foot cliff. And you can clearly see the sword answer in his hand. You can see your surroundings. You're basically looking over this what looks like very like alien to you magical like but basically like forest. You can tell it's magical because you notice that there are these very large like people-sized flowers and other things. You've never seen anything like it. It's very, very alien to you. And he's holding the sword, and basically there are these what look like small pink feral looking sharp teeth creatures swarming this guy in the hundreds. And he basically jumps down from his 20-foot rock, and he basically starts carving swaths of these things. He just completely and utterly annihilates them. He kills 500 of them as they're swarming him, and then he goes to their like 6-foot tall leader, because these are all like 4-foot tall like little like pink beings. And he goes to their leader that has what looks like these large translucent wings. It's got this huge gaping venomous mouth, and he basically decapitates it. And then you raise consciousness again. He said, "That's the kind of person that wields me."
Whoa. Uh, Good to know.
Anyway, everyone saw Kino lose consciousness for like 5 seconds.
I look up and I go, "We're good. I'm just asking some questions. I'm just getting some memories. Don't worry. It's still real me. Don't worry." I know, I know. Look, I didn't expect it to do that, but we're all good. Um, so I turn back to the sword and I say, "So there's others of you, correct? Do you know where the others are?"
Immediately when this starts to happen, by the way, brother, you hear a voice within your head. Um, and it's a familiar voice. You can tell who's sending it to you, but it's Karsus, and he says, "What have you guys gotten yourself into?"
I'll just chuckle and say, it's been a long couple of days. We might need to have a chat.
He said, "Do you realize that the Arcane Brotherhood is currently looking for you?"
That's not our biggest worry at the moment. We really need to talk.
He said, "Where are you?"
Mirabar District in a safe room.
He said, "What kind of what?" He said, "A safe room?"
It's hidden. It's used by the local guilds. You can find us, I'm sure.
He said you're gonna have to give me your exact whereabouts, but he said also, is there? Did you get in by any kind of magical means? Is there any magic in this thing that I need to be concerned with?
I'll ask Eyes for the particular details since I don't remember offhand about where the room is, how to get into it, and if it's okay if I give it to Karsus.
Ice just says the only thing I know, it's a magic box. It's locked.
Yeah.
And I'll relay the location and the knock sequence and all that.
Okay. Yeah, he says I don't think I'm going to be able to get into the room directly through magical means. He says I probably am going to have to get into it the way that you guys did. So he said that's good to know. He said give me like a couple minutes, but I'll see if I can get to you.
We'll be here.
Yep.
I'll just look around the room and say, everybody clean up. We're having company in a few minutes.
Before I sheath the sword, I just ask, is there anyone you really have a preference I not point you at?
All right. So all right, hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. Yep. Okay. So the only thing that you so say that again, Kino. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I just asked the sword if there is there any circumstance where you would be very opposed to me pointing at someone?
He said, well, he said it depends. Like, are you going to kill good people or bad people?
Hopefully all bad people.
He said, but you'll kill people if you have to, right?
Well, of course. What, am I gonna die?
Exactly. He said, that's right. He said, so will you also, he said, the ends kind of justify the means when it comes to life and death, right?
Of course, you're speaking my language.
He said, all right. He said, then we probably shouldn't have any problems.
Perfect. And I'm gonna put you away now because we got company.
Yep. Yeah, Johnny, you were able to do what you needed to do. The only thing that you notice is that immediately after you've done that, the scepter has started to vibrate and hasn't stopped, but that's the only difference. So
Swear to God, if you poke anyone in here, Johnny, we're gonna have a problem.
yeah.
I
Do
go
you,
into a corner and start messing with the scepter.
Oh God,
Well,
he's
Yeah.
playing with a scepter now.
Yep.
Show brother, because apparently it's Eberron stuff.
You're gonna
can
go
I take a
blind.
look at it?
Yeah,
You're
of
gonna go blind
course.
if you keep playing with it.
Yeah, so brother, it doesn't actually have anything that you remember from Eberron at all. It doesn't even look like it would be something that you could recognize and say, "Oh yeah, okay, this is definitely something from Eberron." The only reason why you know it's from Eberron right now is because the Modern has told you it's from Eberron. There's no like discernible thing that you can think of to go through it. The only thing that you notice after going through every single symbol within that thing and looking through all the puzzle combinations is one of the symbols resembles your fairy dragon. That's the only thing that was a big clue of wow. And you didn't see it before, obviously. One of them looks very similar to like your little dragon that you have. See?
I'll cautiously relay that to Johnny.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Just be careful. Magic things from my realms don't usually have good intentions.
Yeah, I know.
I just hold up the wire.
I'm just kidding.
Not a
Yeah.
knock,
I'm just
brother.
kidding.
All right. So you guys do hear like the rhythmic eyes. You notice it immediately. The rhythmic knock to have the door open, and it does open briefly, and you see Karsus quickly come in and shut it. And he goes to the group and he says, "So really, what have we done? The Arcane Brotherhood? That is the last thing all of us need. What is going on?"
Hey.
Book of Vile Darkness, Evil Friend,
Given to the
Book of
mistress
Vile
of
Darkness
secrets.
gone, Good
He said-
Friend back.
He said the story of the Vecna book. He said what?
We found
Yep.
it in the tomb.
It's gone though, so we're all good.
Well, it was.
He said
it's not-
you found the book of Vile Darkness. You were carrying it around with you, And you just like, what? He said, explain. Wow, explain to me how you even got this thing. He said, do you know what that is? Do you know that that was something that Vecna owned a long time ago, and he was essentially using that to literally take over the world?
Well,
forgot we
Yeah,
had
let's
told
all
him not
just
to
sit
touch
down
it.
and just go by this step by step. There's a lot involved in this.
Yep.
I found it on the floor like a long time ago, and I put it in my bag because no one knew what it was.
He said, I honestly cannot believe that you're alive, all of you. This is, I mean, this is just pure luck or dumb luck or
I mean,
incredible. He said,
I
also, that book would have been actually helpful if you had just told me you had the Book of Vile Darkness. We might have been able to use that to our advantage, but it's,
well, if I knew what it was, I would have done that.
We also didn't figure it out until our friend had been replaced with an evil version of himself.
But he's back.
he said, what? What?
Back. It's good. We're good now.
He said, I don't even
I-
know. He said
We
an
have a-
evil. He said an evil version. He says, what fairy tale is this? He said, what?
All right,
Well,
sit down. We
we-
have a lot to unpack over this.
Yeah.
We made
It's
a
pretty
bunch of-
tight in the room, and Eyes wants to
Yeah, yeah.
kind of checks Karsus out to see if he has any nice dangling things off of
Don't
him.
frisk him. Don't.
Come on.
I mean, he does. So here's the thing. So he walks in with a large overcoat. The overcoat is definitely some kind of magical, like has some kind of magical means because it has these buckles on it that are super shimmering, like they're brand new. All of his clothes look like they're brand new all the time, but these buckles have some kind of unnatural light that almost have like a prismatic effect that go through it. So Eyes, you know right off the bat that it's definitely magical in means. I mean, for all you know, I mean, this is just something that you would have to like go through and pickpocket. But you're wary as it is because of course you know that it's magic.
With his eyes, if he can, he tries to catalog anything Karsus has.
Right. The only thing that you can tell for sure that Karsus has is he does have some kind of wand when he moves through it. But other than that, Karsus seems to be careful when it comes to his magical items. And by the way, the cloak moves unnaturally. So the cloak, every single time he moves, it's almost like the cloak is made to essentially protect him in some way or something because it's moving in like strategic ways so you can't see what's underneath it. However, you do notice with your amazing perception that he definitely has some kind of like wand or scepter or staff hidden away in the cloak, but other than that you can't see anything else. So that's fine. So do you guys want to go ahead and relay what happened to you in the tomb kind of thing?
Yeah, we made a bunch of evil versions of ourselves. Well, I mean, not a bunch of evil versions, just one evil version of like most of us.
He said how?
A mirror.
It was a
touched
trap
the-
inside the tomb.
He
Grin
said
activated it.
he
I
said
touched like an orange gas.
he said that's real? He said that's real? He
Yes,
said
unfortunately.
he starts laughing. He's like, he's like, at some. He said we should probably go back there one day. He's like, I can't even believe that's real. He said that's amazing. He said
Oh,
he actually looks at the group. He says, "You, by the way, you have no idea how difficult something like that is to create. I
and,
can't." Yeah.
and also there's an
you-
evil Elminster,
He said what?
Yeah.
and he killed the good Elminster.
Yeah. He's dead. Surprise.
He said, I don't even. He says, I'm surprised you even. He says, you said you know who you're talking about, right?
I don't.
Yes, we do.
We
He
knew
said-
about the time at Squeagle.
he said,
working under Artemis.
He said this is really really bad news for all of it. He says you know that he's like Mistra's, like this is terrible. He said if this is real, if this is true, and I believe you, I don't see why you would lie about this. He said I should probably tell someone something about this, but he said this is bad news, and he said we're just gonna have to see what happens because honestly he was involved in a lot of things that he said, oh God. He said, what if
Well-
like the creeping death comes back? He said, this is not good at all.
Well, get ready for this because it gets better. They're out of the tomb and they're going around Waterdeep murdering people.
So it's not
Oh,
us.
by the way, so Gren, the one thing you know is that Elminster is definitely not with your group. That's the
I
one.
didn't see Elminster there, but the rest of the group was there.
He said, well, listen, you guys got this disaster into reality or whatever. You clean it up. This is your job to clean up. He said that should be your first priority. He's like, you should be wiping these things off the face of the earth. If these are really I imagine what happened is that the magic, I've heard of this device, and essentially it has literally shunted the worst versions of all of you into reality. and it's dangerous.
Shut up,
He's
Henry.
yeah. He says, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You just told me that there's a group of all evil people."
Henry,
Just a couple of us.
And I says, "There's no evil version of me. There's just one."
And no evil version of me either.
Well,
it's just to the
there's
main group.
Yep.
By now, brother is just like head and hands, just like balled up in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He says because that is how it would work. You'd have to be in the room when this happened. Okay, whatever. He said fine. He said that should be a priority. Obviously, this is a mess that you have made that you should be cleaning up on your own. He says I don't want to get involved in this. He says also it's probably not healthy for the world to have these essentially amalgamations of reality just like hanging around outside of it, but worse. And he says this is the thing that's most concerning. Are you saying then that Elminster was copied? He said he says I can't even begin to imagine or think about how like I doubt even a Sarek has the power. Here's the good news. I doubt even a Sarek has the power to create another version of the avatar of Mistra. However, it's probably going to do as good of a job as it can, which still means that this version of Elminster is probably incredibly dangerous and incredibly powerful. He said, so that is something that you will eventually need to clean up as well.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, could you at least keep tabs on him in the meantime? Because it will take us a while to find him.
He said, he says, listen, he says, if the fact is, I didn't even know that he says, I'll do what I can. But he says, look, if this really is a powerful version of Elminster, I don't think that I'm going to be able to scry my way to Elminster here. He said, I'm sure we're already in, like, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen some kind of disaster or something going through this. He said, also, he says, you don't even know. Elminster had 4 or 5 things that I can think of at the top of my head that he was dealing with that could, bring basically terrible things on pretty much all of Faerun. He said one of them in particular could be devastating. He said, and again, this is all he says, and he says, Mistra is not who you think she is, number one. He says, I unfortunately have the pleasure of knowing this. She's not good. And so the Elminster was good. Elminster, all of us, Elminster was keeping Mistra in check. God knows what's happening right now. So he says, you just need to clean this up when you can.
There's more. We're not done.
Okay.
Durax also has a 100-foot rod of Krishnabon.
He said, what? He said, what? What?
It's a long story. It's dumb.
He says, how do you even, he says, I know Krishnabon here is probably, he says, God, he said, you don't even, he says, Krishnabon was a dangerous crystal tower that raised armies of undead, could teleport across like miles, essentially. Like I got, he says, how did he get a large shard of Krishnabon?
It was in the pole by the
The priestess here had brought it with their evil pole dance that they did.
the Winter Palace.
Yeah.
And the Winter Palace.
Ridiculous.
But now it's sitting on top of the 150-foot super ship that is that One-Eyed Wonder's fortress.
He said, well, that's wonderful. He said, what else? Anything else?
Oh, yeah. We've already told you that 2 of our members are the rightful heirs to the Neverwinter throne.
He said, yeah, surprise, surprise. He said, trust me now?
Oh, we've
centered
ourselves to that fact, but the more...
We
also have one of theirs 2 parents with us, and I sort of motion over to Henri's parents, just not even looking, just...
Yeah.
We also need to find a place to keep them safe. So if you have any suggestions at all, that would be helpful.
By the way, he said, what, Jeremy? Yeah, he said, I mean, that's incredibly easy. Yeah, he said that's incredibly easy. He says, where do you want her parents?
Wherever she can have easy, safe access, but where Neverember's assassins can't find them.
He says, okay. He says, here's the thing. He said, the Arcane Brother is looking for you. And as soon as we leave that door, all of their scrying is going to go off in probably seconds. Now, here's the thing. Her parents, I can probably just walk right out, teleport them to wherever you need to be, and they'll be fine. So you, on the other hand, this is going to be a little complicated. He said, first of all, the Arcane Brotherhood is one of the worst mage organizations to want to find you because they have no morals. They have absolutely no one checking up on them. And worse, if they find out, or if they already know that you've been carrying on the Book of Vile Darkness, I imagine the first thing they're going to do is take you into their tower, leave you there for all of eternity until they've tortured you to death, or whatever it is they do to try to find that book. It's not necessarily an evil organization, but there are plenty of people within that organization that literally have no morality whatsoever. He says, I know from experience. Number one. Number two, when it comes down to trying to figure out how we're going to get you out of here, understand there are only a couple places that I can take you where they would physically have to go there to bring you back. He said one of them, he said I could take you up and I could teleport you to some place like 10 towns in the middle of nowhere, who basically doesn't have any way for them to easily get to you scrying wise right away. He said I could take you all the way over and teleport you to Thay, but good luck. If I teleport you to Thay, he said all bets are off. He said you guys are on your own because I'm not going back to Thay. He said, but those are really your best options here while we figure out what to do with the Arcane Brotherhood.
Why don't you want to go back to Thay?
He said it's personal. He said I don't want to get into it.
Okay, that's fair.
We won't press. Yeah. I'll go if you have a
He said, however, keep in mind the Red Wizards are literally like the Arcane Brotherhood looks like they're princesses next to the Red Wizards. You do not want to mess with the Red Wizards in Thay. So the good news is that I don't think they're looking for you. I don't think anyone's pissed them off here. So if that's the case, then maybe Thay's fine. But he said otherwise. He said there's some kind of shit going on up in 10 Towns anyway. He said I doubt the Arcane Brotherhood's going to basically go find you. He said, however, I have actually heard that the Arcane Brotherhood, for whatever reason, is going up to the north anyway. He said, I actually have business up north myself that I'm trying to basically work on as we speak. So if you do end up going to 10 Towns, he said, that's great because I'm going there anyway.
We do have business up there, but we do have some small bit of business in Neverwinter. We're just unsure of how safe it would be to go there.
He said, well, I'll tell you right now, Scrying is going to find you in Neverwinter. It's just a matter of when.
I mean, maybe we could have Karsus do it for us. It's just one errand.
Well, it might. I believe Henri wanted to stop there. If we go for a day and then go to 10 Towns directly afterwards.
He said, it's a day. It's hard to sell. I mean, the Arcane Brotherhood can gate to you. It just depends on when the scrying goes off. He said a day is probably okay. He said, but I wouldn't stay in there any longer than 3 or 4 days because you're probably guaranteed for someone to come get you at that point.
Well, we do have some immediate business there just to clear our coffers, so to speak, pick up a few items, and then gear up to go to 10 Towns.
He said, if you do go to 10 Towns, and you happen to hear any kind of rumors about a civilization on the bottom of a lake, frozen lake somewhere, he said, come to me before you listen to any of the locals about any of that nonsense. Because if you do end up going down there and our paths do intersect, then at the very least, I want to make sure that you stay out of my way and I stay out of your way, kind of thing.
Well, we do owe you a favor, I believe, or two.
Yeah.
Did we tell him about the cleric that was lost up there, brother?
Yeah, that's a more personal matter for me. I have a paladin friend who is currently in 10 Towns as we speak. He's got a bit of business finding a lost high priestess of Bahamut that was last seen in 10 Towns in Icewind Dale beyond.
He said, well, unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of there's a lot of problems in 10 Towns right now. You have the Duergar moving in. No one knows why. You have the fact that it's literally always winter now. That there is no summer up in 10 Towns. So, I mean, certainly you can go through that. I don't know that we should necessarily be helping with that or whatever, but it's getting bad for those people up there. He said, I've got business outside of all of this, but if you go, just understand that it's getting really, really bad for a bunch of the citizens up there. People are freezing to death as we speak. So be careful. By the way, I hope you guys have a way to keep warm.
Uh,
I have this
Yeah,
fancy
that
We
Yeti.
have fantastic coats that we bought. They're Yeti fur.
hey, why is it weird lighting outside?
He said, I was actually going to ask you that question. He
You're
said, and
asking
then
me?
once I heard the Book of Vile Darkness, I just figured the answer was coming. He said, I actually don't know. He said, I basically gated in here, and it is literally twilight outside. I assume this has something to do with the Book of Vile Darkness, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, we got rid of
I
that
mean,
though.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know how much we got rid of it. The Warlock's mistress here took it for safekeeping. Quotes.
Yes.
He looks around and says, What? What warlock?
Point to
He said,
Johnny.
Oh,
To
he
Johnny.
said him? He said, Yeah, he's not very powerful. And he goes up to you, John, and he says, Who's your patron?
Uh-oh.
Mistress of Secrets?
He said, Who's the mistress? What? Who's the mistress of secrets?
He doesn't like telling people. It's kind of a sore spot, you
He
know.
loses his powers if he tries to tell somebody.
He said, Well, whatever. He said, Tell us your patron. Like, how do we know? Like, what happened? He said, Let's get some more details here. He says, first of all, does anyone understand how warlocks get their power in this group? Does anyone get that?
Oh yeah, he signed a
Yeah.
deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, a demon will literally hand out power, just like, and he points over to you, Kino. He said, just like your god does that with you, the demon or aberration or something, like even some fey creatures have the ability to do this, but they will literally lend up power, but it's always at a cost. So who's your patron, Johnny?
Kino's jaws on the
Mistress
floor.
of Secrets, I already told you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but what is the mistress of secrets? What level of hell is your patron in? Is she in hell? Is he in hell?
She's in the 49th layer of the Abyss.
He said, he said, what? He said, he goes through, he is going to make an insight check on you, Johnny. Go ahead and roll.
Johnny,
Got a
maybe now's
13.
the
Okay.
time, Johnny.
He actually says, well, he says you're lucky that I don't know much about the Abyss because I guess I have to believe you. But like, what is the 49? Like, what is it? Is it an aboleth?
The Shadow Realm.
Okay, so what is it? What is your patron? Is it an aboleth? Do you know what an aboleth is?
A servitor of Rizali.
Okay, Servitor Roselli. And he said, so how did you meet this thing?
I did some arcane research back in Waterdeep and pleaded my case to every entity I could find any information about.
So he looks at the group and he said, yeah, this is probably not worth even asking about anymore. He said, well, good luck with that. And he
are you
said,
sure you trust him?
he looks back over and he says, look, I don't know much about the Abyss. All I know is that I've never heard of Keeper of Secrets or whatever he's saying. He said, but at the end of the day, I mean, like, just go, like, how does it work? Go ask your patron or whatever. Have your patron come over here. If I can see your patron, then that might be helpful.
She would never allow you to look upon her.
He says, all right. He says, whatever. He says,
You won't
so
tell the truth about it. Don't worry.
he said, guys, I am kind of busy. He said, so what do you want to do?
How do you know about me?
He said, are you kidding?
Yeah, check out her eyes. It's fantastic.
He said, first of all, you have literally a God given talent that's been brought into you. He said, so first off, that was my first hint. He said, but secondly, he said, you're not hiding anything. He said, I don't think you understand, but any paladin gives off and he says, it doesn't matter. He said, but I know.
Wait, what talent? I know the eyes, but like they sparkled a little. I don't know what. I just got these.
He laughs. He says, listen, I'm not the person that's supposed to be like, doesn't your God talk to you?" He said, "That's weird." He said, "But anyway," he said, "Look," he said, "long story short, I think the way it's supposed to work is that your God gives you special like gifts if you do nice things for the mother of dragons." He said, I can't believe like we're having this conversation. He said, but look, I really, 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 really am actually busy. And he said, the reason why I'm coming down is because the Arcane Brotherhood is going to complicate things, not only for you, but for me as well. He said, so I really do need you to decide what you're going to do. I would much rather just get you out of here. He said, unless you can promise me that you're just going to stay in here indefinitely. He said, it looks like you've got food and water here. He said, just if you can, I'm fine with that too. If you can just stay down here for like a year or so, this all blow over.
I think we should go to Neverwinter for 24 hours and then head to 10 Towns. That's my
Do we
vote.
even need 24 hours? Can we do it in 12? Can we do it in
No,
6?
we need 24 hours, but we know you're busy. If you could come collect us in 24 hours, we will hit the 10 towns. After we get to Neverwinter.
He said, listen, he said, here's the complication. If I teleport, I'll do this. If I teleport you to Neverwinter, as long as you've not been scried by the Arcane Brotherhood, I will pick you up. The minute that I think that the Arcane Brotherhood is on your trail, I'm not getting involved. You guys are on your own.
We'll be brief.
He said, that's fine. He said, so what do we want to do?
Actually, would you be able to, if you have anything in your particular bag of tricks, to be able to help us be a little bit more disguised while we're in town?
He said, I actually can. I could cast a disguise you. The problem is that scrying will normally go through all of those. I can't
Scrying
change.
will buy us time, but people not seeing us on site if they have any moles in the city.
He said, yeah. He said, I mean, I could, there are some things that I could, I do have an illusion that would theoretically work. He said, the problem is if the Arcane Brotherhood gets on your trail and really like wants to find you, he said, staying in the city is suicide. He said, I would not stay in Luskin.
What is the
So I
charge
think
they
as
want
soon
to
as
find us?
possible.
What?
What is the charge that they actually know to find us for?
He said, he said, actually, no. He said, the only thing that I know about is the Arcane Brotherhood is on you because of the fact that they're looking for the Book of Vile Darkness. He said, you don't understand. This is way worse than you could possibly imagine. He said either someone ratted you out, or someone saw the book and recognized it, or there was already a member of the Arcane Brotherhood when all of this went down. But they are looking at you for the book specifically. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the only reason I'm here. If this wasn't,
the priest of Lathander.
yeah, he said, listen. If I got to be honest with you, if this was not the issue, he said I would have never come. He said you guys are not that important. He said, but this is a complication. This is a severe complication. That's why I'm telling you, you need to be very careful about what you do going forward. He said you either need to deal with the Arcane Brotherhood or you need to lay low for a little bit. That's why I was saying going to somewhere like 10 Towns is relatively safe. Going to somewhere like Thay is relatively safe. He said that there are some places that we could think about that are semi-dangerous. Like, for instance, I could teleport you into the middle of the Sea of Falling Stars and you'd be fine there. But I don't think that you'd actually survive that. So he said that's what we need to figure out. But I'm on a limited time frame because I need to get back to what I was doing.
Like,
Quick.
I still say we go 24 hours or less in Neverwinter and then get the hell to 10 Towns.
I
Yeah,
have to
give us
agree
the
with that.
illusion we'll go 24 hours or less, then we'll hitch it up north.
Do you know a place that sells good sunglasses?
He said, what are sunglasses?
Oh yeah, that's right.
He said regardless, he said, look, so I'm taking you to Neverwinter. He said, I hope, listen, I hope that works because I'm telling you, the minute they're on you, I'm not helping you anymore. Not until at least I can finish what I'm doing, and by that time it'll be too late.
Honestly, if we go to 10 Towns, I can get us back to Neverwinter, and then I'll be able to get us back to 10 Towns.
He said, "Oh, you have some kind of device or something?" He said that should work. Do you want to show it to me, and I'll just make sure?
I look to brother. Should I show him?
Brother just shakes his head.
How did you shake it?
No.
Okay. He said that's fine. He said keep your magic items or whatever. He said let's go. Let's make a decision though.
I'm down for going back to Neverwinter.
Quick jaunt. Give us the illusion so at least by sight no one will recognize us immediately.
All right. So he says, all right. He says you can tell that he's casting not only it's a verbal component, but it has some kind of like hand movement. and he does cast this within a radius of 30 feet. So every single person within his aura now looks like they're an average common townsperson. If you're in heavy armor, by the way, it looks like you're wearing cloth. It does not give you any kind of advantages in stealth or whatever. You still hear everything, so you need to be careful. But it does look like you're just normal, common townspeople at this point.
What does brother look like?
Yeah, brother looks like a human. He looks. Everyone actually looks like a human. By the way, there's no other race here. So for instance, Gren, you're now human. Matter of fact, when he did this, everyone is unfortunately also men. So Kino, you're a man right now. Anra, you're a man. But you're all like normal, like male townspeople. Yeah, all human. None of you. By the way, you do look indiscriminate in the sense that that's what the spell does. So it's also you're like very much like no one's an attractive person here. You look very very common. So you basically it's meant so people will just ignore you essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said, "Look." He said, "Look, you're not going to have that. Like my illusion doesn't last that long." He says, "It basically if I concentrate." And I won't be able to concentrate for long. This is only going to last a couple hours. So if that. So you need to be careful once I teleport you out.
It'll get us where we need to go.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you for your help.
All right. Everyone is in agreement. So he says, okay, so everybody's in agreement to this?
Yeah.
Yep.
He says, unfortunately, I cannot gate. He says, we're not going to use teleport. He says, I cannot gate until we're outside. He said, on the off chance that the Arcane Brotherhood does somehow has either set up an ambush or sees us immediately, he says, I will teleport you outside of the city, and then you're on your own. But he says, if that happens, understand that it's going to be a little hard to teleport every single person. Including, and he looks up at Henri's Sweater Dragon. He says, including that. He said, by the way, he said, but the illusion did not do anything with the Sweater Dragon. He said, keep that out of sight. He says that's a walking gold mine. He says, as a matter of fact, I should make you give me that. He said, where did you even find one of those?
It's just a familiar, you know.
No. It's definitely not a spirit. I know exactly what this is. Don't lie to me, Kino. He says, and where did you find this?
You should really go. It's quite interesting.
He said, we'll think about that later. He says, that's interesting to me. He says, we should definitely talk about this later. But anyway. He said, yeah. He said, really? He said, like, all the stuff I've been doing for you guys, you could at least, like, tell me you have a Sweater Dragon and, like, offer this as, like, a gift to me?
I mean, we just got it.
I mean, do you really think we like you that much yet?
You don't even tell us about any of your personal stuff.
He said, all right, guys. He said, all right. Are we ready?
Sure.
All right. So, yeah.
Z's in my belly.
Yep.
Oh my god,
yep.
you ate her.
Yep. Okay.
Get in my belly.
All right. So he very very perceptively, very slowly opens the door. He looks outside. He does cast some kind of spell. He looks at everyone in the group and he says, "All right." He says, "Let's try now." And he says, "Look, I'm going to be able to cast Gate, and no one's going to be able to see us." He said, "But after that, you run through it. You go to Neverwinter, you do what you need to do, and then try to get a hold of me after it's done, and I will take you to 10 towns." He said, "After that, let's try not to do this again for a while." Okay?
Do our best.
All right. Okay. So you are able to get outside. He does it takes him a little bit to cast Gate. It takes him 10 minutes to cast Gate. Once he casts Gate, a swirling portal of magical energy does start to open. And you can see that it's clearly Neverwinter on the other side. What do you guys want to do?
Walk through the gate.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all walking.
Yep.
All right. So everyone walks through the gate, and you do go through and end up in Neverwinter. Let me bring up that map to show you where you are. We still have a little bit to resolve. We are coming up to close to the end of the session. Actually, we're over. We are over. That's fine.
Yeah, we're well.
Yeah, sorry guys. So yeah, we'll stop it here. But you guys do end up coming into Neverwinter. I'll show you where you get later on. But that's all we're in the session.
Cool.
More. That was awesome.
No, thanks guys. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
Got
so
our grin back.
we got our grin
We
back.
got
I'm
Grin
back, guys.
back. Woo!
Good.
Don't you ever do that again.
Yeah. And Tom, amazing job playing throughout.
Yeah, you
And
did
We're
It's
never
so
letting
good.
you read another book ever again.
Yep, we're hitting you on the head just to decrease your brain cells for the rest of the campaign.
Slowly bring that int down.
And Johnny, you did it. You managed the impossible.
Yeah, I was definitely waiting for a brother to be like, "No, F you." I'm sure it's gonna bite me later.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
want.
something bad is coming.
Yeah, I mean, Tom knows this, but Tom was totally set to. I mean, the instructions I gave Tom was to go into the bag of holding and open up the.
Yeah. If
portable.
I'd known Henri had it, I would probably would have
You would have killed
gotten a
Henri.
little closer.
Yeah.
Yep.
You would have killed Henri in front of the entire group.
You would have gunned it for Honor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, nobody
dark
cares
was-
about him gunning it for me.
That's
well,
what
you'd
I
be
was.
able to take it more than
Damn.
she would.
Well, that's what I was also saying too. Is the worst thing that could have happened in this session was that he succeeded, which would have killed everything within the bag of holding would have been destroyed, and then on top of that, like certain people might have been shunted in or whatever, but you would have lost like everything in the bag of holding, which would have been, semi-devastating. So,
Yeah.
but you guys did a good job. So.
Yeah. Oh boy. I got so many questions. Every week I'm
Oh.
like, let me see the Modron. Let me see the Modron.
Yep.
But yeah, excellent. I look forward to next
Cool.
week.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
cool.
much better now.
We are actually finally heading into a plot hook too, so that's fun. That's
All it did was the order to kill on sight the party.
And we're
That's
gonna
it.
level
Can't wait
up
to roll
soon.
initiative against someone who's not my friend.
Oh yeah. How are we looking at?
Oh, that's the other thing as well. Once here's the other thing. I know Eyes is gone. I was about to mention this anyway. Your books would have vibrated by this point as soon as you got to Neverwinter. So after your next long rest, you'll be able to level.
God damn it!
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's been like
Next
4
long
months
rest,
since our last long rest, and we just took one.
Yeah.
Fuck!
It's been legit like 6 or 7 sessions though.
It's been
Yeah,
so many.
Yeah. So you will be able to level the. But you're just gonna have to wait for a long rest. But you'll know that this is happening because your books basically let you know. So on the next long rest you guys take, you will be able to level. So.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, Chris, I'm
Me
probably
too or no?
I'm probably gonna do that thing I texted you about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
Johnny,
And is the idea too? Are you guys going back to the house and everything?
I don't think we have anywhere else.
I don't think we're going back to the house. I think we're gonna go get the map, and then I think Henri and I were planning on heading to.
Yeah, me and Eyes were gonna go sell off all the crap in the bag.
Okay.
And then we were just gonna get some spells for our spell books, and then get the f out of Dodge.
Okay. All right.
Hey Lee, how easy would it be for Abel to make me a pair of burnt glass spectacles? Something.
They're not a special item or anything?
We have obsidian in the bag.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
just
say
plop
just
it over your
something.
eyes.
So, yeah, please don't.
He
put obsidian.
actually, I actually envision him with some lens crafting ability. He has glass blowing.
I was gonna say maybe even
So
velvet
and-
glasses.
By the way, Kino,
Like a specialty helmet.
Tyler, I'll have a list for you by next session of that
Okay,
stuff that you
perfect.
asked for. By the way, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get it. This was
Yeah.
a pretty fast-paced session. I didn't expect to ever
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, and by the way, what we talked about before has not obviously come into play yet, so you'll know when it does. So.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yep.
Also, a Mandalorian helmet would be amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Is Johnny leveling up as well?
That would be awesome.
Chris,
No, Johnny, you keep it. You're not leveling with the group. You have a different mechanic, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
That would have been some bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Johnny's
jealous.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny has a different leveling mechanic. You guys will see, but yeah.
Here's a question, Chris.
Yep.
I can make a tiny non-magical object that creates light out to a 5-foot radius. Can I make
Yep.
the opposite of that dims it by a 5-foot radius, as in a pair of sunglasses?
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be? Is that what it's supposed to end up being?
It's magical tinkering. Well, there's a couple of effects, but one of them is that a 6-long recorded
Yeah.
message.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's completely fair. I mean, because the mechanical aspect of that, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he certainly has all the skills to actually make you sunglasses too. But.
Yeah. That would be fair. Yep.
Chris, I have a quick question.
Yep.
How long of a day can I have? How many hours in a day?
You mean
Okay, so
like
the reason why I'm asking is because I have two. I think at most I can learn 2 third-level spells because it's 6
Yep.
hours each.
Yep.
Do I have enough time in the day for that? Because I don't have enough for 3, right? I don't have 18 hours.
correct? You know, you're saying, do you have enough time in the day to do that and also take a long rest? Yes.
Okay, but 2, not 3, correct?
Correct. Yep. That is right.
If I take the time to get 3,
It just fucks up your rest. Yeah,
and then
it just
I
fucks
just
up the
take
rest.
the point of exhaustion.
Yeah, you can decide to do that if you want to. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that because who knows the next time I'm gonna have access to it. So if I do that and I just forego the long rest, how long do I have?
Also, keep in mind the shorter time we spend in Neverwinter, the better.
Isn't it supposed to be like a con check or something when you push yourself at the end without resting
Yes.
to see if you're still effective?
That's what I was about. That's what I was about to say. Is I think you have to. Hold on. Let me bring it up just so we can see, because that's a good question.
And
But I
then
think
you
you're
just
right,
choose to sleep later and sleep in if you make the check. Somehow I feel like you'll make the check, though.
I mean, I didn't make the check for taking damage.
Yeah, but you could portent it.
I have used my points,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately.
But we just had a long rest.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You used it with the pseudo dragon.
Yeah.
Did Henri ever identify the book I gave her? By the way, I know we were doing a bunch there in the middle.
I don't think she did.
I
mean, I don't think I gave it to you.
I said I was identifying it.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. I don't think I gave it to you. Hold on. I'll give it to you next session because I have to pull it up anyway. You know, I'll give it to you before next session is what I meant. But yeah.
And you'll let me
weird.
know what stuff I have from the Switch.
Oh, I will. Yep. Yeah, because you do have an extra item. Yep. No worries. I will definitely let you know. For some reason my keyboard isn't working, so I can't even. This is super weird.
And don't worry,
Hey,
I'm not reading the book.
Chris, one new thing I have.
Yep.
Is Abel made what is it? Boots of the Winding Path for himself.
Cool.
It's nothing real funky, but he can make like a 15-foot teleport.
Yeah.
Back
No.
to some place he had traveled.
Yep. That is pretty cool. Yep.
Also, I think that is my favorite use of a single tinderbox I've ever implemented in a game.
Yeah, that was good. That was definitely good.
Yeah, you burned down a city and caused a bunch of children to be.
I didn't do it.
Minimum.
Burn down a city. We burned down a building, brother. Come on.
It wasn't even that.
They
It
lit
was
one
petty arson
dumpster
at
fire.
best.
They lit one dumpster fire to save our lives, brother.
Yeah.
3/4 of the city's now gone.
It
Oh,
was-
jeez.
the whole city's standing because of us. It was Gloomglass. Remember that, brother?
I mean,
Yep.
we also eliminated that possibility, and you gave a tinderbox and 200 gold to a bunch of poor children, told them to go light the city on fire.
Not the
Yeah.
city,
just a distraction. One garbage
city.
can.
Although
One
that,
Right.
although 200 gold will go a really long way for people in
Will
poverty.
change
Like
their lives,
literally,
yeah.
it
And
will
small
change their
fires.
lives. Yeah, it will
Guys, we
change
shouldn't
their
be
lives.
At
fighting.
least
We're
a
supposed to
dozen
be
of those
friends.
children are going to get beat up by that one kid, though.
D Grim, this is what happens when you leave. This is all your fault. Now we all just bicker.
All right, guys, I've got to figure out what's going on with my keyboard and everything, but I'll be back.
All right, Chris.
Thanks.
No problem.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Good
Talk
night.
to you next week.
Hi, brother.
Bye. Oh.
Is everybody heading out?